teaching, learning, and evaluation process and role of IQAC. Now, with the kind permission of President of inaugural program, Janab Iqbal Jamadar sir, I would like to proceed the program. May I, sir? Thank you, sir. To begin this auspicious event, I request Dr. Karim Ashraf, HOD Department of Urdu, to recite the verses from the Holy Quran. लेने खुदा का नाम अगर कोई काम है, लेने खुदा का नाम अगर कोई काम है, वाकिल हजार नाम का ये एक नाम है।
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمنت بالله صدق الله العظيم.
Thank you very much, sir. I call upon Ms. Rahila Mullah and Afsa Mullah to kindly render these shlokas from the Holy Bhagavad Gita.
शयना नारायणा श्रीलक्ष्मी रमणा नारायणा श्रीराब्धिशयना नारायणा श्रीलक्ष्मी रमणा नारायणा नारायणा हरि नारायणा नारायणा हरि नारायणा नत जन परिपाल नारायणा नत जन परिपाल नारायणा वैकुण्ठवासा नारायणा वैदेही रमणा नारायणा वैकुण्ठवासा नारायणा वैदेही रमणा नारायणा श्रीराब्धिशयना नारायणा श्रीलक्ष्मी रमणा नारायणा श्रीलक्ष्मी रमणा नारायणा.
Thank you very much, Afsa and Rahila. Now, to mark the beginning of this glorious event, I request all of you to kindly rise and raise for the Nadi Day. I call upon Mr. Dharwad sir, Ms. Vijay Lakshmi, and group.
जय भारत जननीय तनुजाते, जय हे कर्नाटक माते, जय सुंदर नदी वनಗಳ ನಾಡೆ, जय हे रस ಋಷಿಗಳ ಬೀಡೆ. ಭೂದೇವಿಯ ಮಕುಟದ ನವಮಣಿಯೇ, ಗಂಧದ ಚಂದದ ಹೊನ್ನಿನ ಗಣಿಯೇ, ರಾಘವ ಮಧುಸೂದನರವತರಿಸಿದ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ. ಜನನಿಯ ಜೋಗುಳ ವೇದದ ಘೋಷ, ಜನನಿಗೆ ಜೀವವು ನಿನ್ನಾವೇಶ. ಹಸುರಿನ ಗಿರಿಗಳ ಸಾಲೆ, ನಿನ್ನಯ ಕೊರಳಿನ ಮಾಲೆ. ಕಪಿಲ ಪತಂಜಲ ಗೌತಮ ಜಿನನುತ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ. ಶಂಕರ ಮನುಜ ವಿದ್ಯಾರಣ್ಯ, ಬಸವೇಶ್ವರ ಮಧ್ವರ ದಿವ್ಯಾರಣ್ಯ. ನನ್ನ ಷಡಕ್ಷರಿ ಹೊನ್ನ, ಕಂಪಲ ಕುಮಿಪತಿ ಜನ್ನ. ಕುಮಾರ ವ್ಯಾಸರ ಮಂಗಳ ಧಾಮ, ಕವಿ ಕೋಗಿಲೆಗಳ ಪುಣ್ಯಾರಾಮ. ನಾನಕ ರಾಮಾನಂದ ಕಬೀರರ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ. ತೈಲಪ ಹೊಯ್ಸಳರಾಳಿದ ನಾಡೆ, ಡಂಕಣ ಜಕಣರ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಬೀಡೆ. ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಶರಾವತಿ ತುಂಗ, ಕಾವೇರಿಯವರ ರಂಗ. ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಪರಮಹಂಸ ವಿವೇಕರ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ. ಸರ್ವಜನಾಂಗದ ಶಾಂತಿಯ ತೋಟ, ರಸಿಕರ ಕಂಗಳ ಸೆಳೆಯುವ ನೋಟ. ಹಿಂದೂ ಕ್ರೈಸ್ತ ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನ, ಪಾರಸಿಕ ಜೈನರು ಧ್ಯಾನ. ಜನಕನ ಹೋಲುವ ದೊರೆಗಳ ಧಾಮ, ಕಾಯಕ ವೈದಿಕರ ರಾಮ. ಕನ್ನಡ ನುಡಿ ಕುಣಿದಾಡುವ ಗೇಹ, ಕನ್ನಡ ತಾಯಿಯ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ದೇಹ. ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ. ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ, ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ, ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ.
Good morning, eminent scholars, honored guests, and ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to all of you to this August function. Let me take this opportunity to share that very recently our college is re-accredited by that with the B++ grade with the 2.95 CGPA. I thank all these stakeholders for their support and cooperation. I am very happy and grateful that so many distinguished scholars and teachers have come to share their knowledge and experience and to explore better ways of educating our future generation. At the outset, on behalf of our college, I cordially welcome the president of today's function, Janab Iqbal Jamadar sir, to this August function. Welcome, sir. Today we have privilege to have an opportunity to listen a very dynamic and scientist of chemistry discipline, Professor K.B. Gudsi sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Karnataka University, Dharwad, who will going to deliver inaugural address. On behalf of all gathered here, I welcome you, sir. I would like to take this opportunity to express my deep appreciation for Professor Ramchandra Gowda sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Rani Chennamma University, Belgavi, for honoring us a keynote speech for this national conference. Welcome, sir. I feel delighted to welcome Honorary Secretary of Anjuman Islam Dharwad and dynamic leader and well motivator, Janab Nazir Hussain Maniar sir, to this August function. Welcome, sir. Let me extend a warm welcome to IQC coordinator, Dr. N.B. Nalatwar, Organizing Secretary, Ballari Madam, and convener, Dr. Nagaraj Gunandavar, to this function. I welcome the syndicate member and the principal, Dole Madam. I welcome Mohan Siddharthi sir. I welcome the ex-principal of our college, Dr. Meera Naik and Hundekar sir, to this function. I also welcome all the teaching and non-teaching staff, respected delegates and media persons to this August function. Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk briefly about the background of this conference. As you know, NEP 2020 is focuses on key reforms in higher education that prepares the next generation to thrive and compete in the new digital era. It focuses on 5 pillars: affordability, accessibility, quality, equity and accountability to ensure continual learning. It aims to transform India into vibrant knowledge society and global knowledge superpower by making both school and college education more holistic, flexible, multidisciplinary, suited to 21st century needs and aim to bringing out the unique capability of each students. One of the key thrust area of NEP 2020 is to encourage high research and development investment from both the government as well as the private sector. This will encourage innovation and also innovative mindset. To facilitate the same, there is a need for a reskilling. We strongly believe that nation cannot be built just by bricks. It requires nurturing and nurturing the minds of the young people. With this idea to serve as a basis for nation building, we might agree that making citizens better will automatically make the nation a better place to live in, for which education is must. The role of accuracy in maintaining quality education and quality standards in teaching, learning and evaluation becomes crucial. And the present conference is therefore an effort to determine the exact status of functioning of accuracy in implementing NEP 2021-2020 and its outcome. We expect this conference to be a productive platform to exchange knowledge and experiences on how we can put our attempt into practices to enhance students and academic mobility for future development. Once again, I welcome my talk. Thank you.
The proverb do justice. Sir, you inspire us every day with your work on behalf of Anjuman Degree College, staff and students. I wholeheartedly welcome our President Janab Iqbal Jamadar sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for being with us today. Now I kindly request Srimati Rumana Makandar from Department of Chemistry to introduce
Dr. K.B. Kulsi sir, the Vice Chancellor of Karnataka University, Dharwad.
The field of commerce with enormous experience in administration and academics. With a doctorate teaching experience of 34 years. With an innate quest for research and innovation, he has made more than 75 academic presentations at national and international levels and has authored a profuse number of research publications as well. His organizational skills are manifest in his organizing of a number of high.
We are grateful to have you here, sir. Thank you. I invite
गुल गया गुलशन गया अब गुलपेशी की बारी आई है जरा दिल थाम के बैठिए अब गुलपोशी की बारी आई है With this Urdu couplet, now I request our beloved President Ali Janab Okay, thank you very much.
Dr. K.B. Gursi sir, Vice Chancellor Karnataka University, Dharwad, for the inaugural address.
You are having a bunch of administrators here. Dr. Korbe is here, Mr. Angadi is here. Then normally we take one person as Bhishma here in Dharwad. Professor Siddhant is here. Person who is responsible for taking the IQAC and the NAC of our university, Professor Bagalkote is here, and my student friends. Yeah, looking at the title, NEP 2020, Innovations in Teaching, Learning, Evaluation Process, and the role of IQAC. Yeah, I think what I heard and saw was there are many experts to express about this, including Professor Bagalkote. Yeah, I must congratulate the principal and the team for choosing this topic because, yes, we have implemented NEP 2020 almost 1 year back. Then 2 semesters have gone by. But still there are many issues. Very some clarifications are in need, particularly from the teacher side. So I think this conference can help it out so that the clarity in the implementation of NEP 2020, at the same time, the innovative way one can think of in real implementation of this great policy will be here, will be discussed here, and they can be implemented. So when I look at the title, you are having both arts, science as commerce. So if I have to put NEP 2020 and in what way it differs from the previous conventional policy, you are having anyway commerce. Of course, Professor Ramchandra Gowda, a well-known person in the field of commerce, is here to talk about how NEP differs from your conventional education. You are having commerce here. Commerce students must be here. So in what way you can think of innovative learning here then? What I request the principal and the staff members of this commerce is, allow your students, the commerce students, to go to the market. Let them get into the market. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಸುಭಾಷ್ ರೋಡಿಗೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಕಾಯಿಪಲ್ಲೆ ಮಾರೋರು ಇರ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಲೆಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದಮ್. ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ ಕಾಯಿಪಲ್ಲೆ ಮಾರೋರು ಏನು ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾಳಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಲಿ. ಏನೂ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇಡ ಅವರು. ಏನೇನು ಸಿಗ್ಬೋದು ಅವರಿಗೆ? ಒಬ್ಬ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಒಂದು ಹೋಟೆಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಒಂದು 200 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಟಿಪ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡೋನು ಸಹಿತ 5 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊತ್ತಂಬರಿ ತೊಗೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಜಿಕರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜನ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದಿಟ್ಟು ಮತ್ತೆ ಮೊದಲು ತೆಗೆದಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು ತೊಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ you'll get so many different species there. Let me put it as species only here. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ ಕಂಡದ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪುಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಹಿ ಹಿಮ್ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಎ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಪ್ರೈನರ್. ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. ಅದು ನಾನು ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ವ್ಯಾಪಾರಸ್ಥರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ವ್ಯಾಪಾರಿ ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಹೋದರೂ ಸಹಿತ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೈ ಕಾಮನ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಫೀಲ್ಡಿಗೆ ಹೋದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡಿ, ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಏನು ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಹಾಳಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ದ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ದೇ ಗೆಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದೆಮ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎನಾರ್ಮಸ್. ರಿಯಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ರಿಯಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ. ಆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಏನು ಕಲಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೆಣ್ಮಗಳು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇವರು ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನೂ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ ಅಂತ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ಜನ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡುಕ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಅವ 10 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಒಗಿತಾನೆ, ಒಂದು ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಇಷ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲ ಜನರನ್ನು ಆ ಹೆಣ್ಮಗಳು, ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದ ಹೆಣ್ಮಗಳು, ಏನು ಕಲಿದೇ ಇದ್ದ ಹೆಣ್ಮಗಳು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಅವ್ರ ಕೈಲಿ ಒಂದು ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ರಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದ ಮೊಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವ್ಳಿಗೆ ಇದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಇದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ತರಿಸ್ಕೋತಾಳೆ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಟರ್ಸ್ ಆ ಒಂದು ದಿವಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಕಾಯಿಪಲ್ಯ ಮಾರೋ ಹೆಣ್ಮಗಳ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸಿಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ಇಡೀ ವರ್ಷ BBA ಕಲಿತ್ರೆ ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ NEP is. This is what that experiential teaching is and learning is. So this is where the NEP differs from the conventional education. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಆ ರೀತಿ ಈ NEPನ ಇನ್ನೋವೇಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋದರೆ ಏನು 75 ವರ್ಷ ನಂತರನೂ ಸಹಿತ ಒಂದು ಅಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದೀನೋ ನಮಗೆ, ಭಾರತೀಯರಿಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಬೇಕೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಕಲೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಅಥವಾ ಕಲಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆನೋ ಅದನ್ನು ನಿಜವಾಗಿ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಫೀಲ್ ವೆರಿ ಲಕ್ಕಿ ಹಿಯರ್. Because this NEP 2020 is envisaged as the tool for transformation. So ಇಂಥ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಟೂಲ್ನ ನಮಗೆ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮಗೆ ಖುಷಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತು ನಾವು ಲಕ್ಕಿ ಅಂತಲೂ ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್. ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಜನರಿಗೆ ಇದು ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. 75 ವರ್ಷ ಆದರೂ ಸಹಿತ ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಖುಷಿಪಟ್ಟು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಏನಾರು ನಮ್ಮ ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್ ಒಳಗೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇನ್ನೋವೇಟಿವ್ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕನ್ವೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್ ಸಾಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಇವಾಗ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಸ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೀಚ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ದೆನ್ ಅಸ್. ನಾವು ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾದ ಇದನ್ನು ನಮ್ಗಿಂತ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಲಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು. ಇನ್ನು ವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಕಲಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆ. ದೆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗಿವ್ ಇಟ್ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮ್. ಅದೇ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್, ಅದೇ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಪುಸ್ತಕ, ಅದೇ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಒಂದು 10-15 ವರ್ಷದ ನೋಟ್ಸು ಅದು ಹಿಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮುರಿತಿರ್ತಾವೆ. ಅಂಥ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮ್ಗೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಒಪ್ಪೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಗಿವ್ ದೆಮ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ನ್ಯೂ, ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ನೋವೇಟಿವ್. ಇನ್ನೋವೇಟಿವ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಹೊಸದೇ ಇರಬೇಕಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಇವಾಗ ಕಾಯಿಪಲ್ಯ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕಾಯಿಪಲ್ಯ ಮಾರೋರ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೊಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಹೊಸದಿನ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಬಟ್ ದಿ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಂಥವನ್ನ ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ್ರಿ. ದೆನ್ NEP ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ಡ್. ವಿತ್ ದಿಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ನೋಟ್ and short expectation and with the request as well, I close. Thank you.
Words and ideas. Now I kindly request Dr. Ramchandra Gowda sir, Vice Chancellor, Rani Chennamma University, Belgavi, to present the keynote address.
Now the dignitaries, role of IQSC. See, before moving to this, actually what is the process involved in preparation of this NEP 2020? So actually, officially this is the 4th educational reforms introduced in India. After 34 years, because third reforms in education introduced in the year 1986 by Manmohan Singh, and afterwards you must be knowing that a lot of changes have taken place in the field of science, technology, even arts, commerce, in all the sectors. Lot of 10% of non-engineering graduates are employable, that is arts, science, commerce, BBA, BCA, etc. And only 20% are from engineering graduates are employed. Because why this 80 and 90% were not employable means they don't have skills. So because of that reason, people were not employable, and many IITs are there in India because we produce IITs only to work outside India, not for India, because we spend taxpayers' money on IITs, but they work for other countries. So therefore, general public like us, we work for India, but don't have basic skills which are required by the industry. So because in academics we teach something and the industry requires something, service sector requires something. So therefore, with this gap, a lot of discussions took place to reform the education system in India. So because of that, Government of India has constituted a committee headed by Dr. Kasturi Rangan. And to tell you, there are 5 members of the committee. They are all from Karnataka. Dr. M. K. Sridhar was the convener of the committee, member convener. So therefore, a lot of discussions, meetings, visits to different places took place by this committee. So actually this policy of new education policy took 5.5 years, that is 66 months. Then 1,980 days they worked. 45,520 hours they took to draft the NEP. Then they got input from 1.10 lakh villagers. Then they visited 406 districts in the entire country. 1,80,000 suggestions they received from the public as well as the stakeholders, students, faculty, from the stakeholders, industry, etc. Then 71,000 hard copies of suggestions they received from this strata. Then what is the dream of the people? What exactly they want? Better quality education, skill education. So this is what actually, as a country, we need education even for societal developmental also, because we never given importance for what is that just with regard to how we should love the people, how we should actually empathy or passionate towards people, public, etc. For example, 2 days back I had seen one WhatsApp message that is a Japanese primary, not primary, that is kindergarten. So in the kindergarten, they were all actually 3-4 years old students. Actually, it was a skit or a drama. In that drama, one boy was actually met with an accident, was on plaster and other things. Okay, the other children, they were all actually all over the place, assisting him in getting medicine, that treats, etc. Okay, so such actually values were not taught in our syllabus, never discussed in the syllabus. Because I also taught the commerce subject for 34 years. We are bothered about only syllabus. We bothered about only completion of the syllabus. So that after introduction of this semester scheme, so never bothered about other things. Because 3 months college, some classes, in the 3 months classes also, there are many holidays. So we are all under pressure to complete the syllabus. So that was, but that's what we used to deal in all these years. Okay. So therefore, so this committee has entrusted the policy of making a new policy with regard to drafting a new education policy for 21st century. Now, what is actually the education policy should consist? What is the background of the objectives of the education? That is, we should concentrate on value-based education programs. We never bothered, even for example, we introduced, for example, in commerce, we introduced business ethics and values in the commerce subject, because when Ramlinga Raju of, what is that company's name? Satyam Computers. When Satyam Computers actually involved in fraud and misappropriation of funds and cheated the government, public, etc. So people were discussing, you see, all these fellows are all actually commerce graduates, MBA, MCOM graduates. So instead of teaching values, ethics in business, they are all involved in frauds, etc. Even while discussing in the principal chamber, we were discussing one of the gentlemen who was a chartered accountant who was cheated many of the poor people of your community. So that's what actually all these commerce graduates actually, instead of doing all these things, but other way, so they are cheating the public, cheating the government, cheating the investors, etc. So at that time, we introduced business values and ethics, but it's of no use. Even that subject also taught only in the point of view of examinations. Okay, so therefore, so this actually, it should build up based on the 5 core universal values, that is truth, then dharma, then peace, love, non-violence, etc. So these things should be included in the syllabus. Along with that, so that means whatever the subjects required, that means it should be taught simultaneously, all these values also, or ethics also to the students. So that is also the main intention of this NEP. Because the world is undergoing rapid changes in the knowledge landscape. Because technology is taking away the number of positions in the field. So because of unskilled jobs worldwide will be taken over by machines. Now when the unskilled jobs are taken over by the machines, now what will happen to these unskilled laborers? So that means the unskilled laborers should be skilled. Okay, suppose if they don't have skills, if they don't have knowledge about the work, okay, so that means they will be unemployable, they will be liability to the society also, not only to their parents, and they will be liability to the society also. So therefore, so that means skilling part has been given a lot of importance in the new education policy. So skilled workforce, particularly involving mathematics, computer science and data science in conjunction with multidisciplinary abilities across sciences, were given a lot of importance in the new education policy. Because if one side is taken away, because say in 1980s, because we're all at the time, 1980s or 84, 85, something like that. So when the computers were introduced in LIC and also banks, there are a lot of commotion and also strikes carried out by All India level banking association and all other agencies, saying that so all these computers are taken over our jobs. So therefore we should oppose the introduction of computers in the working system, etc. But so of late it was come to know that, so that means because people were not having knowledge about computers, how to use. Okay, so therefore they were all opposed, but of late they were all trained, they were all accustomed to use of computers, and also systematic results were drawn from the computers. So therefore we settled with the introduction of computers, and now it is going in a right direction. So because of that, so any new things which are introduced, so lot of commotions will be there, lot of these things will be there. Even while implementing NEP also we have faced lot of, as Professor Gudse said, so still we are facing day by day some problems, and we are going to find out solutions for that. Now what is that actually new things which are introduced in NEP, because I am not going to detail because already a lot of discussions are taken place. Okay, so the vision of NEP is so because of the insistence of Dr. Ashok Narayan, because the entire country is introducing NEP from this academic year, we introduced from last year itself. The reason was he has taken a lot of interest and actually involved in introduction of NEP. with the help of Dr. B. Thimmegowda, Karnataka State Higher Education Council Vice Chairman, and all the Vice Chancellors actually we joined together in introducing this NEP in Karnataka. Now what exactly the mission of NEP? So NEP vision is actually equitable and vibrant knowledge, because say multidisciplinary approach has been introduced in NEP, New Education Policy. You must be knowing that in the existing system, so there is no question of giving transfer from one college to other college, one university to another university. They should have taken equivalence, not this, etc. So instead of going all this process, the student used to drop out the plan of joining other institution. Okay, so now multidisciplinary easy entry-exit policies has been introduced in the new education system, and providing high quality education. High quality education in the sense, does not mean that now the present what we are studying is not, there is high quality education. We are teaching high quality education only right now. Okay, so therefore, but particularly don't mistake me in particularly in the arts section. Okay, so therefore, how can the students they'll get exposure to the new things, or new innovations, or the new requirements? They never bothered. So therefore, students also not bothered, because faculty was also not bothered, government was also not bothered. So therefore, this NEP has taken care of all those things. Okay, to make India a global superpower, global knowledge superpower. So even yesterday also, the President of India mentioned that by 2047, if you move in the same direction, the India will become superpower by 2047. So such components have been introduced in the new education policy, and that does not mean that we are going to achieve all these things in a year or 2 or in 10 years. Okay, even in the policy itself, they said that whatever the principles adopted in NEP, so it takes minimum of 15 years, that means by 2035, you give practical approach to the subject. For example, you give dummy figures, fictitious company name, ask them to calculate where exactly the tax can be, saved. Okay, so that means you teach such practical exposure that was not there in the present system. Because practical exposure should be that. That's what the industry was actually complaining about us, the universities, saying that so we require something and you teach something. So therefore, to train them, we are spending a lot of amount on their training. So many companies were actually hesitant to actually take the students from general universities. Okay, so therefore, to bring all these gaps. So all this skill component has been introduced in the syllabus. Holistic and multidisciplinary approach. See, overall, holistic in the sense, overall development of the student is very important. Earlier, because we are actually compartmentalization. Arts student means he is not supposed to move from art subject to science or commerce. Now, so for example, if a student can take physics as major, minor subject as music, and another minor subject as history. That is, lot of scope is there in the new education policy, saying that student-centric syllabus. What exactly the student interest? So it will be based on that interest, based on the student. He can select the subject. He can select the topics or subjects. So that was not there. But even till today, we are unable to do that because we are in the first year of implementation. Probably in a year or 2 or a year or 3, so we are going to streamline all these things. Okay, so therefore, multidisciplinary approach. Any student can take either arts, commerce, science subject as per his wish. Then to inculcate ethical, rational, compassionate, and caring, etc. So all these aspects have been introduced. For example, NCC, NSS, and value-based education has been introduced in the new education policy. To build character with integrated personality, that is, character of any individual is very important for the society. If you don't have character, so he is nothing but he is a dead person. For example, you must be reading in the newspaper every day that saying that somebody has killed the living partner, somebody has cut into pieces, 36 pieces, 40 pieces, and somebody has raped 12 years old, and some Swamis has raped many number of students. Suppose maybe a teacher or maybe a Swamiji or maybe a citizen of this thing. If you don't have morality, integrity, then what is the use? What is that he is going to give to the society? So all those moralities were introduced in the new educational policy. Creative potential and potential of each individual, because everybody is having their own potentialities. Even I have something in mind, I may be expert in one area. Okay, I am not good at theory. I can tell you 200, 300 telephone numbers without saying the names. If you say names, I can tell the numbers. So that is each and every individual will have their own skills and things, but those skills were not actually exposed. There was no provision in the old education system to expose such skills. That means the student-centric system was not introduced, only teacher-centric or others, because we followed this practice. So let us follow. I am retiring in 1 or 2 years. Why I should involve in all these things? So that's what we used to do all these years. But now in the new education policy, such system, there is no scope for such system. Okay. Then develop high order cognitive capacities. So capacity building system has been introduced here. Then overall bridge gap between current system of education and what is required for 21st century, because 21st century is a knowledge century. Because knowledge is very important. If you don't have knowledge, you don't have communication skills, you don't have skills, job skills, you will be nowhere. As already told, you will be liability to the society, you will be liability to the parents. Okay, so therefore, to meet the 21st century skills, so these things should be, it has been taken care of, all these things. So what is the major components under any new education policy? That is discipline core courses. Discipline core courses means, for example, commerce. All subjects are discipline core courses. For example, we say banking, marketing, or human resource management, or say stock markets. There are discipline core subjects. Okay. So then DSC, discipline specific electives. So electives, I am telling you, for example, in commerce, in physics, or say physics now, any student has to take one as major subject, another two as minor subject, or two as major, one as minor. For example, if it takes physics as major, chemistry as minor, history can be taken as, music can be taken as minor subjects. Okay. In commerce also, for example, discipline specific courses such as costing, taxation, financial accounting, or management accounting. So such subjects, that is, there is a scope for learning discipline core subjects as well as discipline specific electives. So all these things have been taken care of. In addition to that, open elective courses. Suppose that's the reason why multidisciplinary approach has been introduced in India. Open electives. Open elective means a student from arts, he should not select open elective from his own discipline. He should, that means the NEP's core value is a student from one discipline, he has to study open electives in all the semesters outside his discipline. For example, a commerce student should select either from science or arts, or a science student either should select from arts or commerce. So open, that means if the student does not get job in his own discipline or in his own this thing, so he may get job rather elsewhere. For example, if he select music as one of his subject, because see, we actually last week, I think one of the member of NEP, he was actually Manjul Bhargav. Manjul Bhargav is one of the drafting committee member who is working in America. So his major subject is physics, minor subject is music. So internationally acclaimed musician, but major subject is physics. That means, suppose if he is not excelled in his area, in his discipline, in his subject, let him have the opportunity to serve somewhere according to his interest. So that's the reason why open elective system has been introduced. Vocational courses, hands-on, that is hands-on training. So for example, of the commerce students, you should go to industry, you should go to market, as Professor K.B. Goods was mentioning. You should go to industry, that is practical exposure, on the job training. Even though, for example, when I was the chairman and dean faculty of commerce, Bangalore University, I introduced practical aspects for all the commerce subjects, including taxation, accountancy, costing, etc. I identified the number of areas where the student has to work out, but it was not actually taught properly in the class. It was only on the paper, it was there, we used to tell that practical aspects are introduced, but nowhere it has that is virtually taught in the class. But what is the purpose of introducing it? That means we should give skill-based education, skills to the students. For example, as already told, for example, we teach income tax. What are the items should take, what are the allowances, perquisites, total income, okay, calculation of tax liability, that, this, etc. Then what is the use? How he is going to explore? How he is going to calculate? For example, the purpose of the tax consultant is to show the ways and means legally how we should avoid the taxes. Legally. Okay. So that means you should show some what is the relief to the taxpayer. Then only you will feel free to pay the taxes. Suppose if you go on paying tax, so you take 100 rupees, pay 31% or 32% tax, means you will find alternative that means routes to avoid taxes or evade taxes. So tax avoidance, tax evasion is always illegal. So therefore, practical aspect should be taught in the class, whether it may be commerce or it may be arts, it may be science. So that means without practicals or without skills imparted, so teaching such subjects are waste, mere waste. Okay. So then ECC, ability enhancement compulsory courses such as languages, etc. There are Indian constitutions, then environmental science, which are basically required for the students. So all these things taken care of. Then skill enhancement courses. So skill enhancement course, compulsory skill enhancement courses were introduced. For example, artificial intelligence. So taught in the first semester, I think, or second semester maybe. Okay. So we are introducing this year financial literacy and investment management. Because, for example, I am a commerce graduate, a commerce professor, commerce dean, that, this, etc. I become vice chancellor also. But I never invested single pie in the stock market. What is the use? Because when we were students, we never exposed to all these things. We were concentrated only on secretarial practice, business administration, then accountancy, that's all. Preparation of accounts as per. So never exposed to all those things. So therefore, I never got any opportunity to do all these things. Okay, so therefore, we have taken care of such gaps in the new education policy. That's the reason why skill enhancement courses have been introduced in the new education policy. So 100%. So the thing is, it will be actually useful to the students. For example, Professor was mentioning that means you commerce students, you go to market and sit for some time, definitely it will be great exposure. You will learn many things. We used to visit some of the universities and colleges in the NAC peer team committee, and one college in Maharashtra. So actually, when the student admitted to the college, you will be given 1,000 rupees. Then you will be opening account. The account will be managed by the college and the students themselves. They will be given loan of 1,000 rupees. Okay, so how is making use of the 1,000 rupees? What he is going to do? So that means he has to pay back the installment along with little interest. That's different. But they inculcate such transactions, such habits in the beginning itself. That's a good practice followed by such institutions. 1,000 rupees, it may be what a peanut or it may be a small amount. But the student will be exposed. Why? That means how I should use this 1,000 rupees. You will try to make some ways and means. What I should do this, where I have to invest, or what business I should do. Because he has to tell his teacher that I am using this 1,000 rupees for this purpose. So this is the progress. So such things should be introduced in the class. For example, if any college introduce, I'm just telling you the example, if any such innovative practices in the school colleges, definitely they are going to get very good points in the NAC accreditation also. Okay, so therefore, even value-based education, as already told, because values are deteriorating day by day, so therefore, value-based education also importance has been given in the new education policy. Multiple entry, multiple exit. So earlier, there was no, for example, if a student entered or admitted to any course, he should have completed the degree by 6 years, post-graduation by 4 years. So otherwise, no chance. For example, if the syllabus changed, from present system to new system or syllabus is revised, you are asked to clear some subjects which are not there in the new scheme. Equivalence should have been given to those students. Now there is no such practice. There is multiple entry, multiple exit. That means a student can enter any college, he can complete 1 year, he can take break, he can work somewhere. All his credits will be recorded in the academic bank of credits. So whenever he wish to come back, for example, many girl students will get married, or many people will actually join military, police, etc. So they will be posted elsewhere. They can join institution there only at the place of work, or they can come back and join after 10 years, 15 years, because the first year credits or his performance has been recorded into the academic bank of credit. So therefore, you need not study from beginning itself. Okay, so then multiple entry and exit in the sense, if a student from Maharashtra to Karnataka, Karnataka to Andhra Pradesh to or Himachal Pradesh, because we follow new education policy, that means there is no question of giving equivalence to any transferees. So transferer can take admission in any college or any institutions he like, but there is a condition that, so NAC ranking is the criteria for that. For example, your institution got to B++. You should not seek admission or should not go because now you did not get admission to first year in the A++ institution. You will admit here. Next year, no, I want admission in A++ or no. That means you can seek admission in the same category. So such system, multiple entry, multiple exit has been introduced. Then on successfully completion of first year, you will be given a certificate course on completion of certain credits. Okay, on your first year, that means earlier in the existing system, if you complete first year, after 6 years you would have completed the entire course. Otherwise, you would have repeated once again, or you should have joined the first year itself. Now, so as already told, you can join 10 years, 15 years later, 10 years later in the place of work after some time or after completion or after even retirement also. Okay, so you can join. So therefore, such system has been introduced. After completion of first year, you will be awarded a certificate. After completion of second year, if he faces any problem, he can quit. He or she can quit the education, join somewhere. Later on, she can come or he can come back and join third year itself. No need to repeat once again first and second year. That means first year certificate, second year diploma, 3 years. Suppose if you complete 3 years, you will be given degree. Fourth year, this is the, for example, this is the new thing which has been introduced in the new education policy. That means all these affiliated colleges or universities are actually given permission to offer 4-year degree programs. After completion of third year, if he allows to continue in fourth year, you will be given honors degree. Degree for third year, fourth year honors degree. If the student wishes to do PhD, directly he can join from honors to PhD. In the present system, after degree, you should have completed post-graduation, 55%, that, etc. Okay, so after that only he was allowed to do PhD. Now, from fourth year itself, if he wishes to do research, but because if he intend to only do research means, no need to do post-graduation. Straight away he can go to PhD. And there is a provision that, for example, if a student completes fourth year, so he will be allowed to do second year PG. Afterwards also he can do research. Okay, so this entry-exit system has been introduced in the new education policy. Okay, so then what is the role of IQAC? Because many things must have been explained, and even Bagalkoti is there, he is the expert in IQAC, he is going to explain you many things. So because of his efforts, Karnataka University Dharwad got A++, okay. So what is the role of IQAC? See, IQAC is the brain of any institution, it may be university or it may be college. If the IQAC's director or IQAC members are strong, having vision, so that results in the form of grades. The best example is Karnataka University Dharwad. Because everybody appreciates Bagalkoti's efforts. Okay, so therefore, now what is the role of IQAC? So IQAC is actually should take the responsibility of many things, not only organizing conferences, not only organizing seminars, workshops, etc. And we should educate the faculty new things, how they should actually cope up with the new things, use of technology, etc. So many things actually is the responsibility of IQAC, the IQAC department. So therefore, in the NEP, lot of importance has been given for IQAC. So therefore, if IQAC in the college is good, so definitely they can do wonders, because they have to submit the report. Every annual report has been submitted, because lot of scope has been given for research in the current NAC system. So therefore, so the IQAC has to take care of all these areas. Okay. So with this, because a lot of material is there, but I think so others are going to do justice in other areas. So thank you very much for your patient hearing. And if you have any queries, regarding NEP, regarding new education, regarding transfer, multidisciplinary, 3 years program, 4 years program, entry, exit, okay, you can ask or you can seek clarification.
Karnataka University, Dharwad. Keynote speaker Professor M. Ramchandra Gowda, the Vice Chancellor of Rani Channamma University, Belgaum. Honorable Secretary of Anjuman in Islam, Nazir Hussain Mania Sahab. Principal Dr. N.M. Makandar, Organizing Secretary of the Conference, Dr. Asma Naz. Convener Dr. Nagraj, IQAC Coordinator Dr. N.B. Nalotwar, respected delegates, media persons and students. On behalf of Anjuman Islam, Dharwad, I congratulate Vice Chancellor of all the universities in Karnataka state for having taken bold steps to implement the NPC 2020 in state universities. While discussing with the teachers from different colleges, we observed that national education policy will take the country, especially the youth, forward in accordance with the need and aspirations of the 21st century. NEP frames the strengthening of the public education institutes for the vibrant democratic society, and at the same time created respect among the students for fundamental rights, duties, constitutions, values, and patriotism. NEP is a truly groundbreaking document. It offers solution to a wide range of teaching, learning methods, the structure issues, and the aim to make each and every Indian student truly future ready. I am sure the government is dedicated officers and other stockholders will solve all the problems and issues in the implementations. I am sure today the conference help all the delegations and participants to exchange their ideas and share their knowledge related to the NEP 2020. The higher education system in India is also a role of IQAC in its implementations. I congratulate principal and his team for having chosen this topic for discussion. Thank you. I am delegated to be here at Anjuman Degree College for a valedictory session of the National Conference of NEP, Innovation of the Teacher, Learning and Evaluations of the Role of IQAC. I am happy to note that a day of conference held very productive discussion on the various dimensions of NEP and the role of IQAC. The National Education Policy 2020 was formed with the vision of modernization and revamp education system beside addressing the challenges of conversion education system. I appreciated the college principal and his team for organizing the conference to provide a platform to the experts who present the evaluation suggestions, ideas and papers in the revamping of the education society. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
President, revered excellencies, distinguished guest of honor, esteemed principal, respected convener, and ICAC coordinator, resource persons, learned delegates, education board members, principal from reputed colleges, Sandhya madam and Dr. Kamla madam, and Professor Siddhanti sir, special invitees, senior colleagues, principal, ex-principal, special invitees, and my dear students. Be grateful for what you have and where you are in your journey. Gratitude is a key to manifest abundance. On behalf of management, principal staff and students, I'm honored and privileged to express my heartfelt thanks and most sincere gratitude to you all. Let me begin. First and foremost, I am sincerely and immensely thankful to our President, Janab Iqbal K. Jamadar sir, a prudent mentor, a diligent guide, and above all, considerate leader, for extending his ever-glowing zest with leadership to all of us. This conference would not have been this resounding success without your guidance, sir. Thank you, sir, for presiding over this inaugural function. We are fortunate and blessed to have amongst us the multifaceted personalities who have taken sweet pain and interest in implementing NEP 2020. Let me first express my profound gratitude to the chief guest of today's august occasion, Professor K.B. Kutsi sir, Vice Chancellor, Karnataka University, Dharwad, for accepting invitation. Despite his numerous and rather busy schedule, has found time to inaugurate the conference. His inspiring message, thought-provoking views, is a source of inspiration to all of us and has truly set the tone of the day. We are indebted to him for his esteemed presence. Now I am profusely thankful to keynote speaker, Professor M. Ramchandra Gowda sir, Vice Chancellor Rani Channa University, Belgavi, who accepted to articulate keynote address for conference. We are humbled by your kind gestures, sir. Your scholarly keynote address, intellectual insight, and academic deliberation has enlightened our audience. We are sincerely grateful to you, sir. I extend warm gratitude to today's guest of honor, Janab Nazir Hussain Maniyar, Honorable Secretary Anjuman Islam Dharwad, for his constant motivation, utmost trust, faith in us, involvement and interest towards our institution is a great for us, support for us. Thank you very much, sir. I'm much obliged to our principal, Dr. N.M. Makandar, you know very well, who always stretches an extra mile and doesn't settle for ordinary. We are fortunate to be assisted by our principal for his encouragement, motivation throughout our preparation and have added many innovative dimensions for this successful execution of the conference. Sir, we are beyond grateful to you, sir. I am also thankful to Dr. Budandawar, convener, and Dr. N.B. Nalakwad, IQAC coordinator, for their continuous support and tireless effort in making for this national conference come true. Thank you, sir. I am especially grateful to all the academicians, chief resource persons, special invitees, Professor Siddhanti sir, Dr. Angadi sir, and all education board members, sir, Principal Dr. Sandhya madam, Professor Sandhya madam, Dr. Dhavle madam, and all others, Professor Javed also from ICAC member, and student participants and delegates, and all the heads from the sister institute also, various reputed for making this function, and a very special thank to media person for the coverage and making this inaugural function a memorable one. A big thank you to you all. I extend my gratitude to all media persons, special invitees, my senior colleagues, administrative staff and ministerial staff for their relentless support and efforts for organizing this conference. I hope and pray all gathered here will have fruitful and enlightening session the rest of the day. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Distinguished panelists and all the dignitaries assembled here and previous delegates. as was pointed out in the inaugural session, NEP has been a transformational initiative in India, and obviously any transformation will lead to serious turbulences.
Sir, sorry, one minute, sir, one. To the Vishwanath, sir. To the Chaitan. To the Venkan Gowda Patil. Sarfaraz, you record it. Now this completed session will.
A lot of issues to be discussed, mainly because it's a new system which is superimposed on an existing system, and especially teachers who are the major conveyors of the messages, they are in a state of confusion. Let alone the students. Students are also not very clear about what we are going to get in the NEP. Do the aspirations recorded in the NEP document are going to be really translated to actions, mainly in terms of skill development, creation of entrepreneurs, promoting India as one of the developed country by utilizing the demographic dividend. All these questions remain very, very precariously. And I appreciate the efforts made by this college to include people from all or different dimensions to talk about this. So as already noted, there is a principal in Dr. Kamran Dhore. There is another similar kind of person who is director of a leading business school, Dr. Vishwanath Koravi. There is an administrator in Chetan Daga, who is special officer in jail office Dharwad, and there is my good friend from who represents maybe the general public, because he is to take the whole proceedings of public, Dr. Venkanamada Patil, who is from journalism side. What I will do is I will start with Dr. Kamran Dhole first, go to Dr. Vishwanath Dhole, because they will have to lay down their views first. Then I will go to the administrator, Dr. Chetan Daga, and lastly I will go to Venkanamada Patil, and at last I will try to summarize with my own remarks. Sir, since we have given 1 hour, we can restrict ourselves to 8 minutes, and maybe 2 minutes would be additionally given. But it's better if you avoid repetitions and point out the important things, so that later on there will be some time for inviting some questions from the audience also. So now I start with Dr. Kamran Dhole, madam, please.
Thank you everyone. Very good afternoon to all present here. Thank you Anjuman College for giving us this opportunity and providing a platform to air our ideas. Lot has been said during the inaugural session about NEP and what it represents. To throw more light as the principal and what needs to be done at this grassroots level, we need to spend some time. And as we see, NEP 2020 has various parameters. In fact, it is almost a 360-degree circle that it envisages. It covers all aspects, starting from students, then there are teachers involved, of course, infrastructure, research, language, skill development, focus on art and culture, and much more. So this is what I mean by saying it takes a 360-degree turn. When it comes to implementing it in the college, the sole responsibility of implementation of NEP was put on the IQAC. The IQAC coordinator, along with all the other learning members, had to take on this responsibility of implementing the NEP, which came, I feel, without much preparation from our side. This came all of a sudden. We knew it was on the pipeline, but it was introduced all of a sudden, and we had to learn how to make use of this. And when the syllabus was given to us, as IQAC, what is the role of the IQAC? That is what I am going to point out a few things here. First and foremost, it is optimal creating. The IQAC has to create an optimal learning environment and support for students. The IQAC has to see that along with the curriculum, there are adequate classrooms, a good library, labs, and more than that, there is more concentration on technology, there is sports and recreation areas, and also there has to be some space for various other activities, social activities that have to be conducted. For example, there is a lot of scope for NSS and NCC and apart from sports. So this has to be taken up by the IQAC. IQAC has to provide the right platform for this learning environment. Second most important thing is the IQAC had to look after how to motivate the teachers. Suddenly the syllabus was changed. Suddenly there were so many innovative things that were brought about. So teachers had to be motivated. And IQAC had to see to it that the teachers are energized, they are motivated, and they are capable to meet the need of the hour. So how are the teachers motivated? The IQAC has to plan for faculty development programs, have various faculty development programs every now and then, so that teachers are abreast with what is happening around them. Let not teachers feel discouraged or disheartened when they see the new syllabus. So, third most important thing that I found the IQAC has to look into is revamping the college, especially when it comes to infrastructure. How can we revamp our infrastructure? Because the building is there and there are so many courses that are introduced. So what is it, how is it that we can bring about this change? The fourth important point that NEP has introduced is extensive use of technology and online education. I think with the pandemic and its aftermath, during the pandemic all our classes went online. So our teachers knew something that was not at all known to us earlier. We didn't know, word like platform just meant to us a railway platform. But now we knew what was platform connected with IT and how to make use of Zoom, then how to make use of Teachment, all of these apps in teaching the children. And now I think technology has become the main thing now, and the IQAC has to see to it that all the teachers are equipped with the use of technology. And apart from use of technology, along with it, there should be a blended mode of learning. We call it what we call the hybrid mode. First of all, there is face-to-face teaching, and also if time comes, there have to be going for online classes. And I'm sure all the teachers are now equipped, and more training should be given to teachers in how to involve themselves in all these blended mode of teaching, and providing the necessary platform for innovating all this kind of learning is needed. And apart from this, there is a time may come when we may have to go in for online assessment also. when online assessment, I'm sure we did online assessment, we used a Google form with multiple choice questions when we have to do the internal test. This is from experience, and the IQAC did that quite successfully. Yeah, there were some glitches in the beginning, but we could do online examinations, and the IQAC has to look into that and also collaborate with appropriate bodies who will design these tests for them. And also, training should be given for teachers who could use these online content. They should become content writers. Teachers should be encouraged to become content writers, and IQAC can provide them that kind of a platform for that. How to use online teaching platforms and tools, and how teacher can become a facilitative person for activating and involving the students in active classrooms. All this is fine, but with this, what we need is digital infrastructure. The IQAC has to see that the college is equipped with the appropriate digital infrastructure, like you need to have, all classrooms need to have the LCD projectors, and we can go in for smart boards that can be involved. Then, another main point that the IQAC has to do, which the NP 2020 has stressed, is cultivating research culture. Now, research culture is not just for students, it is also for the teachers. Students and teachers. Teachers, yes, they should be encouraged to publish more papers, involve themselves in research activities. And students can also, NEP also stresses on that, where students need to focus on their project. I think my 8 minutes are over. I'll just give another 2 points and finish. Skill development and vocational training, IQAC has to look into that, and physical education and sports, followed by green environment. That's the responsibility of IQAC and what NEP also wants. And last but not the least, mentoring. I think mentoring should be one of the key role played by the IQAC, because they need to mentor. IQAC needs to mentor students, equip teachers to mentor students. Thank you all. I hope I didn't exceed my time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Very nice ideas provided by you, and I hope the IQAC will be now empowered to take up all the things what you have done and will be instrumental in properly implementing the NEP all the institutions. Now I request another principal, the director of Chetan Business School, Dr. Ushnab Kavil, to go over this.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Principal of Anjuman College of Commerce, Science and Arts, and my good old friend Professor Makanda, and the convener of today's panel discussion, and my friend Professor Bagilkot, and another senior colleague of mine, Madam Dharwad, Principal of CSI College of Commerce, Dharwad, and Chetan Dada, who is representing the government of Karnataka, and who is especially deputed for taking up this IQAC and quality assurance at this part of the Karnataka state. And another representative from the public, the journalist, Mr. Rankin Goda Patil, and all the senior people sitting in the audience, Professor Mert, the principal of Cambridge College, and Professor Siddhanti, and all the learned colleagues and principals and faculty members of the different institutions and all the student friends. In fact, I should appreciate the effort put in by the Anjuman College that coming up with a different innovative idea, starting the conference with a panel discussion. And normally all the conferences wherever we participate, they all start with a paper presentation. But here, other way, they've taken up the panel discussion where they have taught the people from the different walks of the life and provided an opportunity to share their views about NEP as well as the IQAC. As rightly said, The major growth of NAC somewhere 25 years ago, when I just started my career in the JC College of Commerce, the NAC has been introduced. At that time, it was all new. We were not even heard what is NAC. Even for our professors, principals, and the management people, NAC was new. So that way we started our journey, the preparation of the NAC and committee visiting us, and going through the inspection in the different areas, all of that. And later the NAC become used for all the institutions and also the people involved. And later the IQSC is playing a very, very important role because it's a continuous process. So as we say, the quality enhancement, quality improvement is a never-ending process. Because as and when, even though we have certain set of targets, but the quality requirements keeps on changing, quality standards keeps on changing. Because ultimately, we're talking about the NAC and the IQSC, it is a participative. IQSC has to be participative and facilitative. So participative with all the stakeholders, right from the students, parents, industries, faculties, management, universities, government authorities, everyone should take their own role or have to play their own role. Then only it is going to be a successful implementation of the IQSC. Otherwise, IQSC just remains in the books and files for the purpose of presentation. So that has to be a participative method of involving the IQSC. Then they have their own vision. IQSC, when they are formed, the visions like effective and timely work process. So, because timelines, because as all of you are aware, the 4-month semester has come into picture. When we were there in the colleges and schools, it was 1 year, academic year. But now it's a semester. Within the given period of time, how to implement this IQSC, all the principles? Is it literally possible for us to implement this? And out of that 4 months, maybe hardly 3 months that we are exactly waiting for the academic delivery to the students. Whereas a lot of IAs have to be taken care, then after external activities would be there. So these are the greatest challenges where the faculty members are always facing. So we need to understand the difficulties in implementing this. Then academic research and programs. So that is also one of the very, very important area for the faculty members, because as rightly said by some of the speakers and the keynote address and even Professor Gursi also said, so our teaching has to be research oriented. So let us conduct small research. Even if you understand the students' mentality before your COVID and post-COVID. So look at the students' mentality. They are not having a patient to sit for 1 hour in a class. So that is paradigm shift in a student's mentality. So they have gone for that learn from home. So even nowadays the companies or corporates are accepted work from home. So we need to understand their level of patience also. Then after, we're talking about affordable and innovative approaches. Sometimes we call it as affordable and sometimes we call it as innovative. See, everything goes with a cost. So when we look at the kind of institutions, we have maybe 3 kinds of institution. One is the government institution, where the government has to take the ownership of providing the infrastructure, teaching facilities and all of that. Other one is the aided institution. Aid is given only for the staff salaries. What about the infrastructure to be created? And we have huge number of unaided institutions nowadays. So what about those kind of institutions? Right from acquiring the land, construction of the building, providing the infrastructure, paying the salary of the staff members, then managing all with their own resources of collection of the fees. And that too, university and government bringing up a lot of the restrictions in charging the fees. So one side you are putting in a restriction in charging the fees, and other side you are asking everything to be done. So where is the possibility? So here is the greatest, the government has to consider all these factors, how these private institutions are going to manage, how the unaided institutions are going to manage, whether the revenue what they are going to collect, is it sufficient for them to pay the salaries of their staff members? Is it sufficient for them to use such infrastructure what we are requiring? In a government colleges, are we giving that kind of infrastructure? So like that, you have to give a solution, not only raising the problems and not only giving the policies and rules and regulations, but how it is to be solved. That is what is the responsibility, whose responsibility is. Government when framing the policy, yes, as a management, we do accept. We do want to give quality education. We do want the students to do really very well in the corporate. But what about the infrastructure? What about the revenue? So that is where are you giving any restriction to the government colleges? There is no restriction if you want to admit 500 students, 800 students, 1000 students are admitting. How about the private institutions? How they have to survive? So these are the certain restrictions the government has to bring in so that everyone can survive, everyone can grow together. So as a management, I'm very sorry to say, this kind of, I don't know whether immature policies, immature decisions by the government. So, there is a thought process should be taken up. The government has to take it very seriously. How to implement any new policies which are coming in. Because in our lifetime, all of us sitting over in this hall, the 2019 and 2020 are very, very rememberable year for our life. 2019 because of COVID, 2019 we cannot forget our life. So lifetime, at the same time 2020 NEP. There is going to be a paradigm shift in the education, right from our, the education, good old education system, what we have been following from 75 years in our country, post-independence, and today, suddenly also there is going to be a change. And we are the change agent. So all of us sitting in this room, we are the change agent. Whether it's our students, our faculty, principals and the management people, why we are change agent? Because we are taking this education from old education system to new education system. Therefore, I call each one of you as the change agent. So as a change agent, we need to understand our role properly. Whether it's a management, it's a faculty, it's a teachers, it's a students, everyone of us have opportunity to play the role over here. So we need to understand that at this point in time, and at the same time, to implement this IPSC, we have our own challenges. There has to be a proper cooperation from the students and parents. Unless the students understand the responsibilities of teachers and the institution, and the parents do cooperate and support, so we cannot implement this IPSC in a proper manner, and even NEP also. Likewise, the cooperation from the management and also from the affiliating universities and the government bodies. So these all are very, very important for us. And suppose I compare, last 2 minutes I am going to conclude, as Professor has given me a signal to complete. So if suppose I compare the entire education system for the computer, so as we divide a computer into 2 parts, hardware and software. So hardware would be government, universities, management and the parents who are giving external support to the education system. At the same time, the software would be the staff and students who are involved into the system. These are the people who are actually responsible, and ultimately the staff always work for the continuous growth and the progress of their own students. At the same time, the operating system, the SNAC, IPSC, NEP, this would be considered as the operating system of the computer, where the software would be in the form of research, academic development and quality evaluation. So the outcome of all of this mainly, we are going to have empowered youth and empowered nation. And at the same time, the paradigm shift today what we are going to have in the form of knowledge-based education to skill-based education. So in each area, as a teacher, as a management, we need to identify. Many times government policies may not be very clear what kind of skills that we have to inculcate in the students. As a subject teacher, I should be able to define what skill that I can teach to my students in addition to the knowledge. So knowledge, nowadays there is no value for the knowledge because everything is available in the fingerprint. So fingertip. If suppose you are going to prepare for hours together and communicate and presenting it in the class, at that time students would open within a few seconds. So if that is the case, how can I make my class more interesting? How can I make my subject more interesting? By taking the students from knowledge-based education to the skill-based education. So with this, I would like to put forward my few thoughts on this particular occasion. So as a management, we have our own challenges, and always management is definitely any management when they started with an institution, definitely nobody is saying no for any changing happening, but change should happen with the proper planning. Then only there would be a proper value for the change. With this, I conclude myself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor, for this level of management we have laid down the importance of preparedness, especially in terms of needs analysis, gap analysis, and the financial visibility of the whole NEP on. So these ideas are really wonderful. Now I pass on the mic to Dr. Chetan for his remarks.
Hello. Thank you, sir. Respected panelists, Dr. Bhargav, sir, Dharwad madam, Kavi sir, thank you for appointing sir, the principal of this college, and all the staff, teachers, students, every stakeholder of NEP. It gives me pleasure to stand before you, and I'm really happy that this panel discussion, I heard Principal Ma'am, also the management's point of view. Really, there are things which at the bottom, at the field, we do agree there are issues. But beating those issues, coming up those issues, it's the part of all the stakeholders, every person from the government till the student. I don't say it's only the government or it's only the teacher or it's only the management has to do it. It's a collaborative part. So whatever things can be taken up and implemented in the best way, for that I would like to give an applause to all our teachers, because when NEP came, all of a sudden in just 3 months it was implemented. Everyone was in a dilemma, what exactly it is, what things will be there. But an applause to all the teachers that taken it positively, implemented it very nicely. Congratulations to all of you. Now coming to the part, what government has introduced in terms of IQAC, the theme of this current discussion. Now first of all, we in the government have introduced a cell called as State Quality Assurance Cell, that is SQAC cell. There is a cell in head office, and the same cell has its own offices in every regional office, that is Joint Director's Office. We have 7 Joint Director's Office. In every region we have a SQAC cell. It's a quality assurance cell actually. Right now, through this cell, we have already went on for NAC accreditation of government colleges. 50% of government colleges are unaccredited. So right now we are on to 215 colleges are going for NAC accreditation. 215 government colleges are going for NAC accreditation. And remember, why we are going for NAC accreditation? To build a quality infrastructure, to get everything in line. So when quality increases, automatically the quality of the infrastructure increases, the quality of the staff increases, the quality of the student increases, the implementation of each and everything what is needed gets better. So that is what the government is doing, the department is doing from our side. We are at every point of time, every minute, our SQAC members, all the special officers are always ready, are always on call, are always on meetings to helping different colleges individually. Every college calling, getting help for quality improvements. What for every criteria. So remember, NEP today has been linked to the NAC criteria. In the new after June 2022, there is a new criteria has been introduced, and all those are linked to the NEP. So every criteria shows NEP 2020. Every criteria depicts NEP 2020. So whenever an IQAC person involved in NAC activities, automatically he goes in building of an implementation of NEP. So in the same way, I just like to quote some of the things what an IQAC has to do from the point of view of the governance. It was already rightly said by the Vice Chancellor that IQAC is the mind of the institution. Yes, true. When the body works, the body works only on the mind. When mind stops, automatically the body stops. It goes into coma. It goes into hemorrhage. So IQAC in many colleges has been ignored in many ways, or at the maximum level. So now what IQAC has to do? What exactly they have to do? So first of all, go for research-based things. IQAC is not involved in research. NEP wants every institution to become an university. NEP's main objective, when you read out the NEP's objective, it says every institution it should be an university. It should not be an affiliated institution, it should be an university. When it becomes a university, when there are research-based activities. If we are not having research in our own institutions, how you can become an university? Universities are lacking in research. So what again comes is IQAC, that is quality assurance cell, has to see. And for that, what in research they have to do? First thing, curriculum revision. Curriculum revision again forms a part of university. Yes, true. But have you any time researched, wrote anything to the university or wrote anything to the government as an IQAC person that so and so revision has to be done? Have you any time advised? Today you advise, tomorrow you will frame. If you are not advising today, how we expect to frame it? So that is one. Second part, introduce new courses in the college. Now today, I am just an affiliated institute to a university. Yes, you can go for many things. As an affiliated university, an affiliated institution, if not, you can't introduce a degree course. You can introduce a certificate course that you do not have any institutions. Introduce a certificate course. There's a crux. The crux. What is the crux actually of NEP? That is skill and education. They should meet for the purpose. We do not have the skills meeting to the education. We do not have skills meeting the knowledge. Skill is going in some other way. It's just like a railway track, never meeting. In the railway track, parallel. It goes parallel. Education is here, skill is here. They are going side by side. They are never meeting. When it meets, we serve the purpose actually. So that is what an IQAC has to do. There comes the role of IQAC. An institution in rural must have agriculture related, harvesting related, irrigation related, crop processing related, skill courses in the curriculum. Do we have them? No. I'm sorry to say, we do not have. Who has to implement it? It is the college who has to implement. It is the institution who has to implement. Are we? We aren't. Has anyone posed you any restrictions? No. But even though we are not doing it, institutions in tribal communities must have handicrafts, medicines in the curriculum. Bring the tribal skill sets in the education. If we do, we will have a local, rightly said by our Prime Minister. He says local for vocal. Vocal for local, sorry. Local things has to be given utmost importance in the research. Have you any time researched about it? We always see, when we read a book, when I talk about marketing, I read about Philip Kotler, but I never read what exactly are practiced in our local area. Or maybe, yes, just 2 minutes. So that is one. So some of the points which I want to quote here is for the IQAC, that is curriculum revision, introducing new courses as I said, tie up with industry for vocational courses, train the teachers on content creation, which I am responsible from the government side. I am the special officer for learning management system. It is a system in the government institutions. Right away, we are following it, which is completely digital. We have contents in it. We have content for each and every topic in each and every syllabus in the LMS. So I am responsible for getting the new content to be developed. I am responsible to give training to the teachers. We are doing it from our side. We are doing our best. Now it's time. Every person has to join hands to get this content creation. Set up support system for socially and economically disadvantaged students. Make HEI a research intensive rather than teacher intensive institute. Let's make this research intensive institute and not a teacher intensive institute. If this mindset changes 100%, I am sure that we are going to do our best from our side. So the main objective of NEP is university, every institute convert into a research oriented part. So I request everyone, the best example for vocal for local, or I can say when we give opportunity for local things or local research, we have a Mars mission. Actually, Mars mission is done everywhere at 5,000, 6,000, 8,000, 10,000 crores, which we have done it in 500 crores using the most economical local innovations. That is the best example which I want to quote. That is the importance and what is the beauty of Indian society is we have a lot of local innovations done that should be recognized, that should be booked, that should be taught. Thank you.
Thank you. Summarize various initiatives taken by the government also narrated how IQAC can become more active in the promotion of quality and implementation of NEP. Now, definitely listening to all these things, our friend Member Party might be having a lot of questions. Even many times I feel when I look at the NEP and its implementation, whether we are the beneficiaries or victims. So, similar question to be carried. Now I pass on the message.
ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಪ್ಯಾನಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಚೇತನ್ ಅವರೇ ಮತ್ತು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಕಮಲಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರೇ ಮತ್ತು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ವಿಶ್ವನಾಥ್ ಅವರೇ ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಬಹಳ ಕ್ರಿಯಾಶೀಲತೆ
ಕಾರ್ಯದಕ್ಷತೆಯಿಂದ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯವನ್ನು ಮುನ್ನಡೆಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶಕರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಾಗಲಕೋಟೆ ಸರ್ ಅವರೇ ಮತ್ತು ನನ್ನ ಮಾತೃ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಅಂಜುಮನ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತೃ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನನ್ನ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ನನ್ನ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿತ್ವವನ್ನು ರೂಪುಗೊಳಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಅಂಜುಮನ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಟ್ಟಲಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನನಗೆಲ್ಲ ರೀತಿಯ ಇದನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ನನ್ನ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶಕರಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಅವಕಾಶವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರಾಚಾರ್ಯರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಮಕಾಂದಾರ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರೇ ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಗುರುಗಳನ್ನು ಸ್ಮರಿಸ್ತಾ ನಾನು ಕೆಲವೊಂದೆರಡು ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್. ನಾನು ಎರಡು ಭಾಗವಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಒಂದು IQAC ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು NEP. IQAC ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ನನಗೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿಲ್ಲ. IQAC ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಶ್ಯೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ನೊಳಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಆಂತರಿಕ ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಭರವಸೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಮೊದಲು ಭರವಸೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಟೆಲಿಕಾಮ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಅಶ್ಯೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿನ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಅಶ್ಯೂರೆನ್ಸನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕೆ ಈ ಮಾತನ್ನು ನಾನು ಹೇಳಕತ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಬಜೆಟ್ 1986 ಒಳಗಡೆ ರಾಜೀವ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರು ನ್ಯೂ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ನಾವು ಅದು ತಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದರು. ಅವತ್ತು ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ GDPಯ 6% ನಾವು ತೆಗೆದಿರಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಗಮನಿಸಿದ ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ಕಾರಗಳು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆವು, ಆದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ಗೆ 6% ಇಟ್ಟೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಕಳೆದ ವರ್ಷ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಜೆಟ್ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ GDPಯ 3%. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಹೈಯರ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸರ್. IQAC ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕೆಲವು ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನು NEPಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್. IQACಗೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಎಫರ್ಟ್. ಒಬ್ಬರು ಯಾರೋ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಬಟ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಎಫರ್ಟ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಮಗೆ ಆ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ತರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಷನ್ ಮೊದಲು ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸರಿ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಷನ್, ಆ ಕಾಲೇಜು ಅಥವಾ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಒಳಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಷನ್ ಕೊರತೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸರಿ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನಾವೇನು ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟೇಶನ್ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟೇಶನ್ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದು ನ್ಯಾಕ್ನ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾನ ಫುಲ್ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗಳು ಫೇಲ್ಯೂರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳು ಅದಾವ ಸರ್. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಐತಿ, ಬಹಳ ಮಹತ್ವಾಕಾಂಕ್ಷೆಯ ಯೋಜನೆ, ಬಹಳ ಮಹತ್ವಾಕಾಂಕ್ಷೆ ಐತಿ, ಬಹಳ ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿ ಐತಿ. ಅದರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಶೈಕ್ಷಣಿಕ ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟವನ್ನ ಮತ್ತು ಆಡಳಿತಾತ್ಮಕ ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟವನ್ನ ಸಾಧಿಸೋದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಎರಡು ಮಾತಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನು ನಗರ ಕೇಂದ್ರಿತವಾಗಿ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಸಿಟಿ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಬಹಳ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ರೂರಲ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಟೆಲಿಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಸಹಿತ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸರಿ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಈಗ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಗಳು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ನಾವು ಉತ್ತರ ತೆಗೆಸ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೂ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸರ್ವರ್ ಡೌನ್ ಐತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಹಂಗ ರೂರಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಒಳಗೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಇದರಿಂದ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರು, ಈಚ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ನಾವು GPS ಫೋಟೋ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. GPS ಯಾವಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ, ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಅಶ್ಯೂರ್ ಆದಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ GPS ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಕಡೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಈ GPS ಫೋಟೋ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹಿತ ಅವರು ಇದನ್ನ ಫುಲ್ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎಲ್ಲಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾಗಿದ್ದು ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಈ IQAC ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ ಲೆಕ್ಚರರ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು, ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ ಲೆಕ್ಚರರ್ಸ್ ಅದಾರು? ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಈ IQAC ಒಳಗಡೆ ಈ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ಗಳನ್ನ IQAC ಅದನ್ನ ಫುಲ್ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರದ್ದೇ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಡೆಡಿಕೇಟೆಡ್ ರೂಮ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, IQAC ಸೆಂಟರ್ಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಗಳಿರಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಟ್ರೈನ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತ ಇವರು ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರು ಬೇಕು. ಹಿಂಗಾದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಈ IQAC ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಏರಾ, ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಎರಾನ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ಎನ್ಶೂರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಾರ್ದ ಬರೀ ಇದನ್ನಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗಳು ತಾವು ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಕ್ರಿಯಾಶೀಲವಾಗಿದ್ರು ಸಹಿತ ಅವು ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನನ್ನ ಟೀಚರ್ಸು ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅದು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಇವತ್ತಿನವರೆಗೂ ಇಲ್ಲ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರ ನಿಯಮ. ಇದಿಷ್ಟು IPSC ಇದನ್ನು ಹೊರತುಪಡಿಸಿದ್ರೆ IPSC ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಯೋಜನೆ. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಓರಿಯೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರೊಳಗ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆ ಆಗಲಿ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ IPSC. ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯ ಒಂದು ಡಸ್ಟ್ಬಿನ್ ಇಂದ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಟಾಯ್ಲೆಟ್ ಇಂದ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಲೇಡೀಸ್ ರೂಮ್ ಇಂದ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ರೀತಿಯ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಯಾವ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಖಾಸಗಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು ಹಣ ಇದ್ದಂತ ಬಂಡವಾಳ ಇದ್ದಂತ ಖಾಸಗಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಫುಲ್ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಚಾರಿಟಿ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವು ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು ಇವನ್ ಫುಲ್ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಕೆಟ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಪೋಸಲ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಆ ಪ್ರಪೋಸಲ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅದು ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಆಗಿರುವಂತ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇವರು ಟೈಮ್ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ IPSC ಒಳಗೆ. 1 ವೀಕ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನೀವು ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ GPS ಫೋಟೋಗಳನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ವರ್ಕ್ಶಾಪ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಈ ತರದ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಯಾರು ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ. ಇನ್ನ ನಾನು NEP ಬಗ್ಗೆ ವಿತ್ ಬಾಗಲಕೋಟೆ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ NEP ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಮೇಜರ್ ಆಕ್ಷೇಪಣೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ NEP ಜಾರಿಗೆ ತಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದೇ ಅಸಂವಿಧಾನಿಕ, ಅದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಸಮವರ್ತಿ ಪಟ್ಟಿಯ ಭಾಗ. ಸಮವರ್ತಿ ಪಟ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳು ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸಕ್ಕೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ 4-5 ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳು ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಮೆಮೊರಾಂಡಮ್ ಸಬ್ಮಿಷನ್, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸಕ್ಕೆ ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ, ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳ ಅಧಿಕಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಮೊಟಕುಗೊಳಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದು ಅವಸರದೊಳಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಫುಲ್ ಫ್ಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಆಗಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರ ನೇಮಕಾತಿ ಇವತ್ತಿನವರೆಗೂ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ನ ಎನ್ಶೂರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅವಸರದೊಳಗ ಇದು ತಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಇದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಈ NEP ಒಳಗಡೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಪಾದ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಹಿತ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ನ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಥನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ನ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಥನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಯಾರು? ನಮ್ಮ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಚಿವರು ಒಂದು ಮಾತು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಕೌಶಲ್ಯ ಹೊಂದಿದಂತ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ, ಸಮಗ್ರ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ, ಸದೃಢ ಭಾರತ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಶಬ್ದಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳ ಆನಂದ ಅನಿಸ್ತಾವು, ಬಹಳ ಖುಷಿ ಪಡ್ತಾವ. ಆದ್ರೆ NEP ಒಳಗಡೆ 66 ಪುಟದ NEPಯ ಡ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅದರ ಆಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಅದರ ಪೂರ ಇನ್ ಡಿಟೇಲ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾನು ಹೋಗುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದರೊಳಗೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಎಷ್ಟು, ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ನನ್ನದು. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ NEPಯ ಡ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಳಸಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪದಗಳ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಪದಗಳನ್ನು ಬಳಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಪದ 19 ಸರಿ ಬಳಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನ್, ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯ ಅನ್ನೋ ಪದ 30 ಸರಿ ಬಳಸ್ತಾರೆ. ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ಮೌಲ್ಯ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ 28 ಸರಿ ಬಳಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಕೌಶಲ್ಯ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ 66 ಸರಿ ಬಳಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಮಿನೇಷನ್, ಜೆಂಡರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಮಿನೇಷನ್, ಇನ್ಇಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ 0. ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹಿತ NEP ಡ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಪದ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಸರಿ, ಓಕೆ ಸರ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸಮಗ್ರತೆ, ಹೋಲಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪದ 41 ಸರಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಇದನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಭಾಷೆಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. NEPಯ ಒಟ್ಟು ಭಾಷೆಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಹೋಗುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಕೆಲವು ಇನ್ನೊಂದಷ್ಟು ಒಂದೆರಡು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. 2014 ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಟುಡೇದ ಒಂದು ವರದಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೈತಿ, ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಕೊರತೆಯಿಂದಾಗಿ 13,817 ಶಾಲೆಗಳನ್ನ ಮುಚ್ಚಿದ್ವು. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ನ 2018 ಜುಲೈ 6 ವರದಿ 28,847 ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳನ್ನ ಮುಚ್ಚುವಂತ ನಿರ್ಧಾರವನ್ನ ಕೈಗೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಈಗ NEPಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವರು ಇದನ್ನು ಬಳಸ್ಯಾರ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ 10 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಒಂದು ಶಾಲೆ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾವ ಹಾಗಿದ್ರೆ 10 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಶಾಲೆ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ 65,000 ಶಾಲೆಗಳು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕ್ಲಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಜಾರಿ ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈ 65,000 ಇದ್ದಂತ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ 15,000 ಇಳಿತು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ NEP ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಶಿಕ್ಷಣವನ್ನ ಅದರ ಸಮಗ್ರತೆಯನ್ನ ಗಟ್ಟಿಗೊಳಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ತರ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಹೇಳ್ತೈತಿ. ವಾಸ್ತವದೊಳಗಡೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳನ್ನ ಮುಚ್ಚತಕ್ಕಂತ ಖಾಸಗಿ ಬಂಡವಾಳಗಾರರಿಗೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣವನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂತ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಇದರೊಳಗಡೆ ಇದೆ. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ವಿಷಯಗಳಿದಾವೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕಲಿಕೆಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಅದರ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅದರ ಮಾದರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಬದಲಿಸ NEP ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೈತಿ, ಏಕರೂಪದ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ವೆದರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. ಒಂದು ಬಹುಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ಐತಿ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಷೆ ಐತಿ, ಆಚಾರ ಐತಿ, ವಿಚಾರ ಐತಿ, ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಟ್ರೈಬಲ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವ, ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಮೈಕ್ರೋ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟೀಸ್ ಅದಾವ, ನೊಮ್ಯಾಡಿಕ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟೀಸ್ ಅದಾವ. ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ವೈವಿಧ್ಯತೆಯನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಏಕರೂಪತೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದೇ ಈ ಸಂವಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ವಿರುದ್ಧವಾಗಿದೆ. ಯಾಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಆಯಾ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ, ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಏಕರೂಪದ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಒಪ್ಪಿತವಾಗುವಂತ ವಿಚಾರವಲ್ಲ. ಇದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ NEP ಯನ್ನು ಜಾರಿಗೆ ತಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭ ಎಂತದ್ದು, ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ದೇಶದೊಳಗಡೆ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ನ ಮಹಾಮಾರಿ, ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಎಷ್ಟು ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ತಜ್ಞರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಆಯಿತು, ಎಷ್ಟು ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಆಯಿತು, ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಚಿವರು ಅಥವಾ ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳ ತಜ್ಞರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಆಯಿತು, ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಸಹಿತ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ನಮಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಇರಲಾರ್ದ ಒಂದು ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಜಾರಿಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದು, ಅಂಶದೊಳಗೆ ಜಾರಿಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದು ಅದನ್ನ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂತ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟತೆನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟತೆನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾರು ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ವಹಿಸಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಇವತ್ತು ಅಗದಿ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡೈತಿ, ಬಟ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬರೆಯಾಗ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಂದೇನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಪೋಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು, ಯಾರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೇರಿಕೆ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು, ಚರ್ಚೆ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಣೆ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು, ನಂತರ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಒಟ್ಟಾರೆಯಾಗಿ ಏನು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಸಲ ಈ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ನೀತಿ ಜಾರಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಒಂದು ಇಂದಿರಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರು ಜಾರಿಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ರು 1968ರಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದಾದ ನಂತರ ರಾಜೀವ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಇಂದಿರಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ನೀತಿಯನ್ನ ದೇಶ ಒಪ್ಪಿಕೊಂಡಿತ್ತು, ರಾಜೀವ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ನೀತಿಯನ್ನು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಒಪ್ಪಲಿಲ್ಲ ದೇಶ. ನಂತರ ಅದು ಸೋತು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಬಂದು ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ತಜ್ಞರಿಗೆ ಅದರ ಹಾಳು ಕೇಳಿದಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಟ್ಟಾರೆಯಾಗಿ ಇದು NEP ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತ ಒಂದಿದು. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತಿಗೆ 12 ಲಕ್ಷ ಜನ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕರು, ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆ 10% ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕರು ಏಕೋಪಾಧ್ಯಾಯ ಶಾಲೆಗಳು, ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ಗಳದಾವ. ಮತ್ತು ಈ IPSC ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಥನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ನ ಎನ್ಶೂರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಕೊಡುವಂತ ಅನುದಾನ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಕೊಡುವಂತ ಅನುದಾನನ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಅನುದಾನವನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಅದನ್ನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎನ್ಶೂರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನಂತರ ಅದನ್ನ ಜಾರಿಗೆ ತರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇದಿಷ್ಟ ನನ್ನ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿ ದಯಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ಬಹಳ ಮೂಲಭೂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು ಎತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಡೀ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ನಗರ ಕೇಂದ್ರಿತವಾಗಿರುವುದು, ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಗಮನಿಸದೇ ಇರುವುದು, ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು ಖಾಸಗಿ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನು ಇಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾವುದೇ ಪೂರ್ವ ತಯಾರಿ ಅಥವಾ ಯೋಜನೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನಗೊಳಿಸಿದ್ದು ಮತ್ತು ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗುವಂತ ಹಣಕಾಸು ಒದಗಿಸದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲವೇ ಎಂಬ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯನ್ನ ಅವರು ಎತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಇಟ್ಟು IPSC ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಅವರು ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಸಭಿಕರಿಗೆ ಆಹ್ವಾನ ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ, ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿದ್ರೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಕೇಳಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟಪಡಿಸಬೇಕು.
ಸರ್, ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಈ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಥದ್ದೊಂದು ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಭಾಳ ಬಂಗಾರದಂಥ ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಕೃಷಿ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯವರಿಗೆ ಅನಂತ ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ತಪ್ಪಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಒಂದೇ ಎರಡನೇದು ಪಾಟೀಲ್ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ದು ಜವಾರಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಭಾಳ ಇಷ್ಟ ನನಗೆ. ಹೌದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು. ಮೊದಲನೇ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಐತೋ ಡಿಸೆಂಟ್ರಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಐತೋ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನು ಬರ್ಕೋರಿ ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೇಳಿ. ಒಂದೇದು. ಎರಡನೇದು ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್, ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸು, ಜೆಂಡರ್ ಬಯಾಸು ಮತ್ತು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ಗಳು ಅದಾವೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ ಅದು ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಯಾಕೆ ಈಗಿನ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಧಾರವಾಡದ GR ಯಾಕೆ ಐತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಯಾವ ಶಾಲೆಯವರು ಯಾವ ಕಾಲೇಜವ್ರು ಕಂಡು ಹಿಡಿದ್ರಿ. GR ಮೇಲೇನೆ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ಔಟ್ ರೇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾರೆ. GR ಭಾಳ ಮಂದಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಚಲೋ ಐತ್ರಿ ಸರ್, ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜಿ ಭಾಳ ಕಷ್ಟ ಐತಿ. ಈಗ ಗೌಳಿ 4 ಮಂದಿಗೆ ಹಾಲು ಕೊಡಕತ್ರ ಗಟ್ಟಿ ಹಾಲು ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ಹಾಲು ಕೊಡುವವ್ರು ಭಾಳ ಮಂದಿ ನೀರು ಹಾಕೋರು ಭಾಳ ಮಂದಿ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಈಗ ಒಂದೇ ಇದು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಒಂದೇ ಇತ್ತು, ಒಂದೇ ಇತ್ತು, ಆ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಇತ್ತು. ಈಗ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಭಾಳ ಆಗ್ಯಾವ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಸರ್, ಈಗ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ನೀತಿ ಒಳಗೆ PRC ಮತ್ತು ಡಯಟ್ಗಳು ಮುಂದುವರಿತಾವ ಇಲ್ಲ? PRC ಮತ್ತು ಡಯಟ್ಗಳು ಮುಂದುವರಿತಾವ ಇಲ್ಲ? ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್, ನಾನು ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಮೋಹನ್ ಸಿದ್ಧಾಂತಿ. ಬಹುಶಃ ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪೈಕಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ನು ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗೋದು ಎದುರಿಸಿದ ನಾನು ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಇರಬೇಕು. 1956 ಮುದ್ಲಿಯಾರ್ ಕಮಿಟಿಯಿಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು NEP ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಮೂರು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳ NEP ಬಗ್ಗೆ. I agree with Venkatagowda, I agree with Vishwanath, but I agree to disagree with Chetan Daga. I am free to. Philosophically you might be right, but why should there be a differentiation between the institution and institution? If the government is giving, you have raised the right point. Government college can take any number of students, and why does the government permit unnecessarily new colleges? Stop it. Take all the government colleges. In the 10 ವರ್ಷದೊಳಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಪಗಾರ ತಗೊಂಡು ಎಷ್ಟು ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಷ್ಟು ರಿಟೈರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಇವಿಷ್ಟು ಅನ್ಎಡೆಡ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Has this government or that government or no government? Have they got an agenda to close all the institutions and make government? It's a big question. ಈಗ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಕಲಿಯೋರು ಅಂಜುಮನ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಖಾಲಿ ಅವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಓದೋರಿಗೆ ಪಗಾರ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಒಂದೇ ಕಾಲೇಜಾಗ 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ಚಿಲ್ಲರ ಪಗಾರ, ಒಂದೇ ಕಾಲೇಜಾಗ 10,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಪಗಾರ, ಅಷ್ಟಾವ. ಏನಿದು? Is it new education policy, national education policy or no education policy? There are 3 points. It is a old wine in a new bottle. ನಮಗೆ ಸರ್ ನಾವು ಶಾಲೆ ಒಳಗೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಯಾರು ಕಲಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಕಲಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಇದನ್ನು ಕಲಿಸುವಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿಕೆ ಹೊಸ ನೀವು ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿ. ಈಗ ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ವಿಶ್ವೇಶ್ವರಯ್ಯ ನ್ಯೂ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲದ ಏನೋ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರಾ? ಈ ದೇಶದಾಗ ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೊಸಬ್ರು ಕಟ್ತಾರಾ? Is it possible that anything? You see, you have introduced so many things without bringing infrastructure. What's the use? What's the use of it? No, 1 minute. ಸರ್, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಡೋದಾಗ್ತದೆ. ನಾವು ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಂದಿ ಕೇಳಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವರು ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಸರ್ ಬರೋಬ್ಬರ ಕೇಳಾಕ ನನಗೆ ಅನ್ಬೇಕು. ನೀವು ಬೈದ್ರು ಬೈದ್ರಿ. ನಾ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾ ಯಾಕೆ 1-2 ನಿಮಿಷ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರ ಕೈಯಾಗ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಕೊಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಕನ್ಯಾದ ಕೈಯಾಗ ಅಂಡಿ ಕೊಡಬಾರ್ದು. ನಾವು ಗಂಟು ಹೊಡಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೂ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರ ಯಾಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲಸ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಇನ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಆ ಸರ್ ಸರ್ ನಾನು ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಅನ್ಎಡೆಡ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ Venkatagowda was right, perfectly right. I totally agree with him. ಮತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಸರ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಬದಲು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ UUCMS ಒಳಗೆ ಏನು ಬರ್ತಾವೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಫುಲ್ ಟು UUCMS ಟೀಮ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಏನೋ ಸಂಶಯ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡಿ ಸುರೇಶ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಸರ್, ಆಗಲೇ ನಾನು ಆಗ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ಸುರೇಶ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸೂರ್ಯ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಮುಳುಗದೈದು ಸೂರ್ಯ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಾಲಿ. ಎಸ್, ಈಸ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪಿಂಗ್ ಮೀ. ಈಗ ತಮಿಳುನಾಡು ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ policy. If the student from Karnataka University is going to Tamil Nadu University, what is his position and where is he going to stand? If it's not totally a national policy, it's new education policy. He was right when he pointed it out. Tamil Nadu in around state and the very central government Maklu Bandaru, Yao college ಅಲ್ಲಿ MBA ಅರ್ಧ ಮುಗಿಸೋ ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನೀವು ಬೇಕಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೇಮ್ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಅದ ಸೇಮ್ ಬುಕ್ ಅದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅದ ಬೇಕಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು ಸರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಹೋಲ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಏನು ಕೂತವ್ರು ಬೇರೆ ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯೂ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು? ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಸರ್, ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ನಾನು ಓದಿದೆ, ಭಾಳ ಚರ್ಚೆಗೆ ಹೋದೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೋಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ನೀವೇ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ, ಮತ್ತು ನೀವು ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ? ಇದನ್ನು ಕಂಡ್ರೆ ಯಾಕ? Why did you bring it? When you are not in a position to implement it financially. If vitamin M is absent, all other vitamins are dead. What is the special grant you are going to give for the new education policy to all the unaided institutions? ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಅನ್ಎಡೆಡ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಾಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ನಾನು ನ್ಯಾಕ್ ನಮಗೆ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಐ ಡಿಡ್ ನ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ನಾನು ಬಿ ಗ್ರೇಡ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡೆ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊರತು ಬಿತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಕೊಡೋದು ಪಗಾರ ಕಡಿಮೆ, ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕಡಿಮೆ, ಇನ್ನು ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಸರ್? ಸರ್ಚ್ ಫಾರ್ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ನು ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಟೀಚರ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇ. ನೋ, people might be laughing, but this is the burning problem that I am. Infrastructure full of that. Research ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇತ್ತು, salary component was just 2 points they have reduced and we have got less. But I am happy. ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಸ್ವಚ್ಛ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಷ್ಟ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಬಿಡು, and we are happy. ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ರೊಕ್ಕದ್ದು. What is the role of the government in supplementing the economical or financial aspect to the development and constructive activity to be taken on? Financial help ಏನು ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. This is silent in educational policy. This should be taken into consideration. ನೀವು ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀರಿ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ವೈಸ್ ಚಾನ್ಸಲರ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರ. This will be another dead body in the moratorium. Thank you. If I spoke ಭಾಳ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಷಮಾ ಮಾಡಿರಿ, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬಂದ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
I have 2 questions to raise the panelists. One is, as Siddhant sir said, he has pointed it out rightly because there is discrimination between the government college and the aided colleges with respect to admission and all the facilities you are providing, sir. As you said, SQAC acts as a nucleus for only the government college and not for the aided colleges. And as the NEP says, the lot of stress should be given towards the research. In spite of the people who are eligible for the research guide, the university is not giving the permission for the guideship for the colleges. So when we don't have the guideship, then how can we enhance the research in the institution? That is again a concern of all the aided colleges, and the representation from the aided college I am putting forth in front of you, sir. And as you said, the skill-oriented courses should be introduced, or as the open elective courses should be introduced, the student should be given a free hand to choose whatever the subject he wants in the subject. But if you want to introduce a new subject, again the university says we have to get the affiliation. So for any new introduction of the subject, the college has to pay the affiliation fees, and then we need to wait for 1 year, and then we have to start it. So I don't know what exactly is there in the NEP 2020, because we are facing a lot of hurdles. And with regard to the admission process, as Dharwad sir is also there, I had a lot of argument with him. The DSC, whatever the admission intake we have taken the permission, only 50% of that should be given for the OEC. So naturally the science students are deprived of choosing the arts subject because we have the restriction only to 50%. So I think on behalf of all the aided people who are here, I request the Karnataka University people to just give a free hand in choosing the OEC, and let not be the restriction regarding the admission or the intake. That would really help the students to take and choose whatever the subject they want to pursue in their higher education. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
The student want to ask. I think student from JSS College.
JSS.
Please.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Purnima. I am from JSS College. Good afternoon to everyone. My question I put towards to every professor here. Still, NEP students are not yet received the result. Without getting result, NEP student how can build the student life? Chetan sir said that every institution can change the university. Without seeing the result of students, how can it possible? How can you judge it, sir? Still, why government is quiet about the result of KVD University? Result of KVD University students.
My actual questions, madam is asked the same questions, but so research center is not the open, sir. But you are encouraging the make a research, but in NEP, but research center is a no, sir. So probably you should suggest the research center in every college, sir. Then only do the research. Every so another question, sir. So what is the greatest tool for achieving social justice and equalities in NEP 2020? Thank you.
Some of the questions was related to the policy implementations. So on that part, I would like to answer. First question posed by our dear friend Nakumura sir, that we have state and center both, and state has its own policy making things, and center has its own policy making things, and how center imposes NEP. So I would like to tell in NEP, center doesn't impose anything, it just directs the state to impose NEP. It's the states who has to impose in their own things, like seeing what the local needs are, what is the local language, because NEP says minimum up to 6th standard, every student should learn in local language. So this is what one part. Another part is, even it says NEP, if the whole education is done in the local language, it is well and good. Students get the most out of it, not English. So this is again given the states to decide. State has to decide it, and they have to impose the NEP as per their own things. Nowhere center has given any curriculum. Center has given some quality frameworks. As per that, if you think so, you can apply them. If not, as per your needs, you go on. You have to frame your own curriculum. Every state can frame their own curriculum and get the NEP done. So there is nowhere that center is imposing anything on state. Whatever we have done, it is done from our side. Point second number is just 2 points I told about discrimination about government and private aided. Madam, in two terms you spoke about SQAC. There SQAC is working for both. Right now we have not many colleges going for NAC for government. So they are giving more concentration on government. Once these 215 colleges are done, then SQAC is going for the next phase, that is concentrating on the aided colleges, and that is there in pipeline. It's only we have these many colleges to take up, so that is the reason we have not taken up. Third thing about sir's pointing about the appointments. So appointments already been on, and many of the colleges, I guess in the Nimble Institute of Manmani proposal for 2015 there is a proposal related to appointments of Bijapur College. So here, today, and another thing, I was attending 3 days back. The commissioner is continuously asking the institutes, send the proposal, even notice. SC backlog posts, extra posts khali. Institutes are not sending their proposals. Why they are not sending their proposals? It is your duty. Or where commissioner has told you have to compulsorily fill those posts. Fill Then you ask that you are not posing it. So that is what one more thing. About research centers, I agree with him. Research center should be there, and it's the university who has to affiliate you for the research center. please ask your principal, send a proposal to the university. They are surely going to start a research center. Then coming to the research, if PhD guide sheet is not given, madam, go for research projects. There are many institutions who are giving research projects. If you are a 12B, your UGC gives you MRPs and many other things, so you can go for it. Thank you.
Everything is
Thank you, Jay. I will take 2 minutes. Sir, ಏನಾಗ್ಯದ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಳಗಿನ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಹಂಗ ಇಟ್ಟು ಮ್ಯಾಲ ಏನಿಟ್ಟು ಮ್ಯಾಗ ಇಟ್ರು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಬಾಟಮ್ ಅಪ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಅಂತದ ಅದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಟಮ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಟಾಪ್ ಡೌನ್ ಆಗ್ಯದ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅವರು ಕರಿಕ್ಯುಲಮ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು, ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಳ್ರಿ ಬರೀ 20% ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಈ ಡಿಸೆಂಟ್ರಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ನಿಜವಾದ ರೂಪದಾಗ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಸ್ಥಳೀಯವಾಗಿ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಗಮನಿಸಲಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರ. ಇನ್ನು ಆ BRC ಡಯಟ್ ಅಂಗನವಾಡಿ ಉಳಿತಾವೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ ಅನ್ನೋ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅಂಗನವಾಡಿ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಲಿ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ಹುಡ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ ಅದ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಕಾಂಪೆನ್ಸೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಬಟ್ ಇದು BRC ಮತ್ತು ಡಯಟ್ಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಗೋಷ್ಠಿಯವನ್ನ ಸೆಟಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂತ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸಿದ್ಧಾರ್ಥ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಡೆಲಿವರ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತ ಅನ್ನೋ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಬಂದಿರೋದು ಅದು ಪ್ರಥಮ ಹಂತದಿಂದ ಮೇಲ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅದನ್ನ ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದಂಗೆ ತನ್ನ GDPಯ 6% ಅಷ್ಟು ಹಣವನ್ನ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೀಸಲಿಡಬೇಕು, ಕಡ್ಡಾಯವಾಗಿ ಮೀಸಲಿಡಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಖಾಲಿ ಹುದ್ದೆಗಳನ್ನ ತುಂಬಬೇಕು, ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರಿಗೆ ತರಬೇತಿಯನ್ನ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ, ಇದೊಂದು ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಈ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಬಹಳ ಅಪ್ರಿಷಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಒಂದು ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಇನ್ನು ಮೇಡಮ್ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಗ್ರಾಜುಯೇಟ್ coordination. We are requesting the government to liberalize the norms for recognizing guides. That we are taking up. Similarly, affiliation for skill oriented courses, valid courses, and restriction opting we'll see what best can be done. We'll be taking up. And result, Dr. Dharwad is here because of some navigation to UCMS portal. There are some technical problems. That is why it is being delayed and we announced as soon as possible. Because since it is role of IQAC, I just put 7 points what IQAC can do. First one is we have to prepare an institutional development plan, including what was mentioned by my friend Vishwanath as hardware, software. Hardware includes your physical infrastructure, then software includes your teachers, curriculum, research activities, etc. Then capacity building, especially in terms of pedagogy, assessment, and even to the administrative staff and other stakeholders also. And evaluation of the activities. Evaluation is a very important activity of IPSC. Just evaluate regularly and show what has happened due to what intervention. Then engage the stakeholders. So all stakeholders, especially alumni. I am happy that Venkatrod has come as alumni also. I didn't do that. So in fact, I gave extra time. I know English, but that was a good remark in that what we did. So stakeholders have to alumni have to be engaged. And more importantly, IPSC has to go for MOUs and collaboration. Especially we are talking of internship, exchange activities, etc. So IPSC has to take efforts to make MOUs and collaborations. Then a skill development center has to be set up to outline the skill-oriented courses and how to implement them. And more importantly, a grievance redressal activity also is run by the IPSC. So if these 7 activities are done by the IPSC, then I think whatever, whether it is NEP or non-NEP, the college can improve in quality, and that will be a continuous process as was said by my friend. So I hope I have covered many of the issues. I thank the organizers for giving us all this opportunity, and I thank all my learned panelists who shared their very valuable experience with you all, and we hope that we have addressed many of the doubts which you had in mind. So once again, on behalf of all the panelists, I thank the organizers. Thank you.
I request Professor Raymond Jory sir to present the vote of thanks.
Hello, good afternoon. The first technical session we just completed, the role of IQAC in implementing NEP 2020.
a panel discussion, a very wonderful discussion. First of all, I thank the convener of this convener IQAC, Karnataka University Dharwad. I am very grateful to Dr. Kamla Davle Madam, Principal CSI College of Commerce Dharwad, for participating in this nice session. I would like to acknowledge our gratitude to Chetan B. Daga, a special officer, LMS and Content Development Regional Office, Joint Director, Dharwad. Thank you, sir. Similarly, I also thank Vishwanath M. Korvi from the management side, a Director and Secretary, Chetan Business School, Hubli, for actively participating in this session, sir. I also thank our alumni, Mr. Venkankota Patil and Senior Journalist of Dharwad, for his nice presentation. So finally, I would like to thank, place on record, the hard thanks to all my participants. Siddhanti sir participation is there, Madam has participated, and once again, I thank all the participants and the panelists for making these sessions very meaningful. Thank you one and all.
Sir, I humbly request Dr. M.M. Jani sir to present the bouquet to the resource person Dr. S.M. Tuar sir. Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, without any...
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನನಗೆ ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಕು ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು ಈ ಸೆಷನ್ದೊಳಗೆ. ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ನನ್ನ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಅಂತಂದು ಪ್ರಮೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸರ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪ್ರಮೋಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೀ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಟು chairman to this resource person. And topic is ICT and role of IQAC. Before discussing about the ICT and IQAC, I came almost half an hour early to this session and participated in the panel discussion. And many of the questions raised by the audience side. First, I would like to answer for those questions. Then I will move to the role of IQAC and its ICT facilities in the institution for NAC accreditation and other quality assurance of the college. Madam, the first question raised by you directly bouncing to me. The question was, why Karnataka University passing order to restrict 50% intake of DSC for OEC? No, madam. Karnataka University never imposed any minimum maximum. It is a government policy. Sir, in the circular clearly it is mentioned that please follow the government rule while allotting the OEC. This is the statement translated from Kannada to English. It is not our policy. We are ready to conduct for examination even for one student in the center continuously for 5 years. This is our rule. When I received this query from various part of this Karnataka University jurisdiction, I straight away told Karnataka University never passes. What is the minimum intake for the affiliated colleges? No, never. It is a government policy. The employer is going to decide about the workload of employees, not the Karnataka University. Karnataka University role is only to prepare the curriculum, syllabus, conduct the examination. No other role. This is very clear cut in the Karnataka State University Act 2000. So no other instructions Karnataka University can give to any affiliated colleges. This is very clear. And about the OEC and introduction of new subject raised by you, we had written not less than half a dozen to the government of Karnataka Higher Education Department and a copy passed to Higher Education Council Professor Timmegoda. Just 24 hours back, yesterday evening only, over phone I discussed, sir, We are not receiving any answer from your end. If that is the case, it is very difficult to answer for the teachers or the management who are raising these questions. He said he is busy in preparing some draft statute for the appointment of university and constituent college teachers. So soon after that work is over, I think in the next week probably they may take up this matter for finalization. About two things we have written. One is related to physical education director, P teacher, what we say. Whether they are eligible to teach the physical education OEC introduced by Karnataka University. Second, similar scene is there with the librarian of the colleges. Whether the librarians are eligible to teach the library and information science introduced as OEC by Karnataka University. Because these are the questions we are receiving from the librarians and this physical education directors. And another question we raised to the government. Earlier, we categorically written, if you want, we will leave that matter to the principal group. You will understand what Karnataka University is putting effort to get the clarification. The most important question we raised, yes, anybody can study any subject as open elective. It is fine. Earlier, while giving the affiliation, much earlier, before 1990, major minor concept was there. While giving affiliation, only what subject major to be introduced, what are the minor to be introduced, what are the 2-3 languages as basic. This was the concept during those days. And after 1990, this concept has been changed, 3 equal subjects for BA, BSc. What are the subjects combinations permitted for the college with the basic languages? Now the new thing, with the same old rule, we are moving to the next, the new era, that is with NEP. New policy, old rules. It is a lot of confusion from the government organization and government side. Now 2 equal, called DACC. So if that is the case, the new one OEC, whether the permission is required to introduce this OEC or OEC in the coming academic year, whether the affiliation is required or not, we all actually narrated to the government. Probably by next week we are getting the answer, and we will follow up all those things, madam. And in my opinion, to start with open elective course, I think it is my personal opinion, of course not from Karnataka University, my personal opinion. When it is called open elective, if the management is ready to introduce the open elective course as per the NEP aspiration, what is the hurdle? If management is ready, government colleges are ready, no issue to introduce any new courses without permission of the university. Without permission of the university. But for the formality, just for the preparedness to conduct the examination and USMS approval, just yes, these are the subjects we are going to introduce as open elective courses, and this is for your kind information. That letter is more than sufficient, what I personally feel. I am putting the same opinion to Government of Karnataka Higher Education Department as well as Higher Education Council, Professor Timmegoda. Yesterday only I told this Professor Timmegoda. Earlier, in the virtual meeting during COVID period and post-COVID period at the beginning, they used to assure that affiliation is not required for the open elective course orally. Now I am requesting you just pass the same in writing, so that there will not be any technical hurdle for approval of the workload by the College and Education Department, JD office, particularly in the regional office. So the people who are working in office will be having very clarity about the calculation of the workload and approval of the workload. So if this issue is solved, then OEC problem would be solved. This is my personal opinion, and I am putting the same opinion if the government asks. And other thing about the result, Somebody asked particularly students. Of course, it is not related to OEC, not related to NEP. It is related exclusively non-NEP matter, but matter responsible, matter related to our Karnataka University because of the introduction of NEP as well as UECMS simultaneously. So, I tell you frankly that UECMS was designed with the concept of 3 equal, very beginning. They never dreamt that their government is going to introduce this NEP during designing that UECMS. The architect is for 3 equal, for BABs. Now all of a sudden government introduced this. And those people, developer, started to convert to 3 equal to 2 equal. So because of that and moreover, Karnataka University, Mysore University and Mangalore University in the front line to execute all the NEP and UECMS business. So when we started admission or when we called for the examination or published the timetable, examination timetable, the software was not ready at that time. They said, yes, you please go ahead. From back end we can do something. Yes, that is the little hurdle for Karnataka University, Mangalore University and Mysore University. Those who started late, they entered with UECMS only. Now they are able to publish the result much earlier to us. This is those who actually moved fast met the accident. This is the issue with Karnataka University, Mangalore and this one. But still, Karnataka University is doing well. We are running 14 degrees. Karnataka University managing 14 undergraduate programs. Almost 6 degree results are published at this moment. 6. But the major BA BSc become big number with too many hurdles. The hurdle is created by college, hurdle is created by UECMS people, hurdle is created by us only. What are those 3 hurdles? Why we fail to declare the result in time, even from the provision of back end? Very simple thing. I should not discuss this in public, but since many students are assembled here, what is the program and many teachers are who assembled here, and management is also here. What mistake actually management committed, then teachers committed, then students committed the mistake, and university committed the mistake. So nothing wrong in sharing. Please don't publish this matter. I request the media person. This is internal matter. Just I wanted to pass this to the students. My dear students, you fail to understand the registration process. Registration process. Without a registration, it is not possible to fill the examination form. That was a issue raised in first semester NEP UECMS system. And second one, the Aadhaar card content not matching with the certificate content, name, date of birth, some other informations not actually matching. That was the big issue. Then UECMS in these days they solved that issue. Now no such issue of this conflict between the content present in the Aadhaar card as well as this our SSLC or UC Mass card. Now I think that problem is solved. But that has took nearly 2 months time to resolve that issue. Then second thing, our principal failed to understand at the beginning. Now everything is okay. At the beginning, what is the role of principal and how to get the information from the admin login and principal login, because these are the 2 logins are there. So what is the information actually we can what information we can feed through admin login or with the principal login? Now anything entering to the approval, till then admin login is necessary. I request all the principals to understand this. Now it is okay, but if anybody is lagging behind, everything you go in the admin login only. Then when it is approved of the students' registration, then principal again will have business. So many of the students registered but failed to approve it at the beginning. Now they know how to approve it. Now problem is solved. And without approval, they try to fill the examination form where their names and numbers not appear. Now that also has been solved. Now hall ticket was not generated because the HOD failed to upload the attendance. To avoid all these hurdles, university issued a notice that locally you please give the hall ticket, so that students should not face any problem, because they will come with full preparation for the examination. We should not send back. You don't have hall ticket, you don't come. No. So that is a mistake at the part of Karnataka University. Instead of allowing that, university would have postponed for one more week to get everything ready. But they assured nothing will happen. From the back end you can add everything. With that assurance you moved fast but met extent. So this is how now the things are in this way. Now after this, nearly 15 students came to the Karnataka University without registration in the college, and immediately university as usual allowed those students, but their content not available in the USAMS. Then how to declare the result of those students? Neither college is bothering, nor the admin login is bothering about introduction of that content. This is another issue. Then the next issue is about skill enhancement courses. University had given clear-cut instructions. We had our own skill enhancement courses related to discipline specific core course. So in that, few students from the coastal and from the local Dharwad and all BSW college students opted a digital fluency. No issue. It's very fine. But University and Higher Education Council clearly told anybody who is opting digital fluency, please register in the Future Skills Prime India platform through NASCOM. They have not studied at all. They opted, not studied. Then how to declare the result for those? If you declare it without their mistake or the mistake of the college, they will be failed. Our university don't want that. No, we shall wait for another week, and this provision is already given. 17 such college committed a mistake. 17 colleges from Karnataka University jurisdiction. 6 from state away from all BSW, and here and there 1 or 2 students in every college. Altogether 17 colleges have taken this kind. So 1 week time is given. Special group has been created for them. Now they are learning, started learning after registration, and all 3 models they have learned. It is learned that they have learned, and shortly we will receive the marks from the NASCOM, and you will feed all those things, and you will keep everything ready. So if all the 6 BSW college digital fluency marks obtained by the colleges to the Karnataka University, within no time Karnataka University is ready to declare the results. And apart from this, some other technical issues raised. Just few days back, one technical team from government came and trained our examination section team who are involved in this declaration of the result. Mostly within a week or 2. BSc now almost ready. Little problem with BA and BCom because of digital fluency. So shortly university may declare BSc result, and within a week or 2 the next content will be ready. And another issue about that software, coding and decoding process is there. So our university ready to complete the task of evaluation within 15 days. But whatever the process about evaluation and everything available to feed into the USMS, it is very slow. this experience is with many of my colleagues who are assembled here. It is very, very, very slow. Venkanagoda told server is down. Maybe one of them. I don't know. I am technically very poor to speak authoritatively about all those things. But these are the issues what I personally noticed. It is not related to NEP. It is off the record. I would like to share to give some positiveness to you that don't be panic. University is ready to declare the result as early as possible with the help of USMS state team technicians. And about IQAC. I come to this IQAC. Many people already discussed about the role of IQAC. IQAC should not work for NAC only. If IQAC thinks only to give the content, upload the documents to the NAC, purpose will not be served. No. Just because we need the documents for category 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and if it is working in that direction, that is not the objective of IQAC establishment. Total internal quality assurance cell. Of course, it is part of the NAC, no issue. But internal quality assurance, how you are assuring the quality to the students, that is the main focus of the establishment of IQAC. So now NEP, whether you are accepting or not, we don't know, but it is already implemented. We should move it. We should move with the implemented NEP policy. Then what is the role of IQAC? To implement this effectively in the given organization, in the college. 4 things will happen. 1, government issue. 2nd one, management issue. 3rd one is college team, including principal issue. Next one is stakeholder, main stakeholder, our students. First, we should focus to the students. What should be the readiness for the students? So next semester means next year, in the 5th semester, internship is a mandatory component introduced. So what is our preparedness to go for internship for our students from the college? So that you have to focus it. Internship, not necessarily physical, chemical industry, or there may be some companies. There may be some companies locally. There may be small home industries and small gram panchayat field work for survey and other thing. University listed as many as 16 activities which are related to value-based activities. Many of those are covering in the internship also. So better you go for working MOU between institution and such organizations where we can interact and feed our students. So this is a mandatory requirement. University will not do at university level. So this is very much required. Internship is mandatory for the 5th semester for all the degrees. That preparedness from this day only, it is necessary. Please think seriously for MOU between institution and such organizations for internship where it is feasible. Locally, not necessarily we should have a MOU with Bangalore company for computer science. No, not necessary. Any startup company locally for computer science, any home industries or any small industries, small scale industries or any NGOs, all those are going to help to understand as per their subject chosen as a DSCs. This is first thing. Second thing, this internal quality assurance cell role is again important. It is not revealed by Karnataka University, but it is in draft form by Higher Education Council as well as UGC draft regulations what I brought here. Look here, this NEP for higher education system means undergraduate onwards. Multiple entry, multiple exit system is there. It is good one side, but lot of restrictions are there for exiting. Earlier, as NEP nodal officer, I was not ready to accept that but UGC drafted already. It is in draft form, left to the public for feedback. After getting feedback, I think they are going to leave the final policy, I mean in the form of regulations through Central Gazette. What it tells? Multiple entry and multiple exit. So after 2 semesters, there is a provision to exit with certificate course. Not mere completing 2 semesters with 50 credits or the 48 credits what it is mentioned somewhere. No. If he wants to leave the first year with exit option, he has to go for internship, minimum for 6 credits. Minimum for, they are telling 10 credits, but in the skill and other thing we are managing 4 credits already with our structure itself. 6 more credits are necessary. 1 credit means 1 week internship. 6 credits means 6 week internship. It is approximation, not defined properly. So, if he wants to leave the college after 2 semesters, he has to go for internship for 1.5 months roughly. Then only he will be eligible to get the certificate. That certificate is valid certificate for his employment in future. What policy tells? What policy? It is not my opinion. What policy tells? So this preparedness is very much required now. Now, Higher Education Council shortly they are issuing the final form of this draft regulations to pass from our statutory bodies of every university. Then this is going to be implemented. Anybody wants to live in between, minimum 1.5 month internship is necessary. If he comes back to continue his education from 3rd semester onwards, he can continue, no issue. But if he wants to exit at a diploma in 2nd year, again he need not go for once again for the internship. Only once in the exit option. 10 credits enough, 6 credits internship. So this is the provision for this. IQVC should think it seriously from this moment only. Now, about the preparedness by this IQVC. Another challenging task. I wanted to get the clarification. I think I expected this answer from our Bagalkoti sir, because he is also very much involved in one committee. Both we are working in the preparation of draft regulations for the PhD degree as per 2012. So, Government of India published the new regulations for the PhD program. It is called Minimum Standard Requirement for the PhD Award 22 it is called. It is published on 7th November and UGC notified to the universities on 15th November. Now Karnataka University already started to implement it. Here there is a clear-cut guidelines about how to recognize the research centers. Now it is clearly mentioned in the regulations given by UGC in the Gazette notification on 7 July and officially university received on 15th this November. They clearly mention what are the requirements and how to get the registration or recognition as a research center by the college. Clear-cut instructions are there. Then, what are the requirements to get the guideship for the research program for PhD? So, now I am belonging to college person. I have advantage because I know the difficulties in colleges. So, we will think in a different way using all those components what available in the regulations given by UGC, and we will design the regulation in the college friendly. I am representing college as CDC director. It is my bounden duty to take care of all the 275 colleges affiliated under Karnataka University. So we will focus for the recognition of research center, and we also focus for the recognition of PhD guides. And this PhD guides is nothing doing with the 4 years honors research content. For the research in the 4th year honors degree, recognition is not required, it is clearly mentioned. Only for guiding PhD, recognition is necessary, but there must be research atmosphere. When the students are working with us, there will be a development of research atmosphere in the institution, so that people will opt, students will opt the research component in honors degree, because research is not mandatory in the 4th year honors degree. So they can opt elective, excluding research. That provision is there. So if they are moving to the 4th semester without research component, then this backlog is not necessary. That means anybody who is failing, passing, not reaching 75, everyone will move to honors degree, provided research component is not there for them. Those who want to move honors degree with research, then there should not be any backlog, and the result should be 75% roughly. It is in the form of 7.5 CGPA. Then only such students are eligible to opt for this research component. For that guiding, teacher need not to have the grades recognized by Karnataka University or any universities. This is a clear picture about the role of teachers, role of this management and not management, principal and students in fact. Now the thing is about the management. Yes, government may give green signal about, yes, you need not require any affiliation business for open elective. Then how to introduce that OEC? Then who has to meet the expenditure? Who has to meet the expenditure? This is a big task. Already one question raised by one senior person who was sitting here about environmental studies. No, environmental studies is not deleted. Environmental studies introduced, and this time it is elevated to 3 credits. Elevated to 3 credits. So in the 2nd semester, but unfortunately, maybe fortunately, I don't know. Everything is science component only. Everything is science, no sociology related. And Higher Education Council clearly mentioned who is eligible to teach. Botany, zoology, all the life sciences. If not there, chemistry, earth science and geology. Those who are not eligible to teach, they have written. Geography people are not eligible to teach. We actually focus on geography people. They clearly mentioned, but there is a lot of debate going on. Okay, geography people can understand better than any other person of the general geography, general environment. But they have mentioned it is available in the Higher Education Council website. You need not inquire about all the documents from my side. It is available. Whatever I am speaking, everything available in the Higher Education Council website. Then Indian Constitution. It was 2 credits, only teaching Indian Constitution. Now it is redesigned. India and Indian Constitution. It is recognized by Higher Education Council. It is available in the university website. Higher Education Council website. But UGC telling that understanding India. So Professor Harris Ramasamy was the chairperson for all these curriculum setup and syllabus preparation. In the virtual meeting, he debated with all the people who are actually interested to participate in that one. He sent the link in the public. Many people participated and said, understanding India, giving a vague statement. So what to understand? What to understand? Whether negative, positive or any new? People are, it is democratic country. People are going to interpret everything as per their. So this is little modified. Instead of understanding India, it is India and Indian Constitution for 3 credits. For 3 credits. That is also going to be taught in the 4th semester. So that is going to be adopted by the Karnataka University shortly. But after getting all the doubts what we have, why geography people are not allowed for teaching this environmental science or studies. Then India and Indian Constitution. Indian Constitution component is very little. So we are requesting to add more because it is compulsory paper for all. Then apart from this, okay, about this, what about the workload? Whether workload is to be considered by the teacher who is teaching all these India and Indian Constitution and environmental studies. This is one issue. And another issue, financial education and investment awareness introduced in the 4th semester. It is offline teaching. It is a physical mode of teaching. The eligibility to teach is the commerce teachers, economics teachers, management teachers. If not available this kind, then statistics and mathematics. If not available, who has to teach? It is a big question. Okay, because many of the colleges, excluding BA, BSc and BBA and BCA. One example, BASLP, they don't have all this. BSW, they don't have all this. Then here Sursentiguppa, one college is there, BA ILRD, Inspirational Leadership Program in the BA. They don't have all such components. Then how to recruit, who has to pay all such things? This is another task for the management. So, Venkanagoda Patil sir told clearly, some preparedness is required. So, there should be some clarity from the government about the workload, because we teachers always bothering, management also bothering about the workload and about the research and development of the infrastructure who has to pay, because nowadays UGC started funding. Everything comes from RUSA and not releasing the grant for all the colleges through RUSA. This is another issue. So 11th plan was the golden period for all the colleges. 11th UGC plan, 11th plan period. 12th partly, 11th was wonderful. 11th was wonderful. When 12th plan introduced, first installment we released, we got it. Second partly got it. Third we failed. So 50% received from 12th. 11th, wonderful. That was the golden period for all the higher education institutions in India. So that was really wonderful. And by using all such grants, we developed the library components, some sports, many things developed. If that continued with NEP, you would have done something better. Though not late, but government should think it. So, these are the things what actually required. This is my personal opinion. This is not NEP, this is not TUVA, this is not CDC. This is the feedback from me as a TUVA. Don't take it officially. These are the problems with we all people. Whether problem with you only or problem with me only, I wanted to share it. I shared. Mostly, you are endorsing my statement. Mostly. So, I am neither against the government, nor the policy, or anything. But some minimum preparedness is required. This is my personal opinion. Policy is good, but execution should also be good. Otherwise, policy will fail. So, when first policy Kothari introduced during Indira Gandhi period, wonderful policy. Second, without preparedness, without understanding properly, Ramaswamy policy introduced in 1992 to 1998 and revised in 98 also. It was not effective, but served the purpose. They focused more on higher education rather than this one. Fortunately, some policy introduced by, with the help of that one, Murali Manohar Joshi, actually they used to ring the bell, Sarva Shikshana Abhiyana. That was little acceptable for the lower education. So, any policy comes, these are the hurdles always, but should not be dragged for too many years. 1 year over, fine, at the beginning some hurdles will be there. But we are entering second year, still murmuring. And murmuring, of course, more, it is magnifying, not nullifying. In the third year, it should be nullified. In such a way, government should rethink it for the effective implementation of policy. Otherwise, very difficult to say that this policy is going to be successful or not. Right? Very difficult. Because many things are still on the paper. We have to execute it properly. So next year, by next year, all the official hurdles, whatever we have, these are to be resolved. These are to be resolved. It is a duty of the government. These are the results. And another, the private and government college discrimination. In the debate, virtual meeting, I joined with Professor Timmegoda, with all other, I think it was hosted by Higher Education Academy, Shivprasad. I participated that. It is not only a problem for private college, madam. At Hubli level, government colleges are there. They don't have any workload, no student strength. Our university received the letter from various Hubli level colleges, even some Taluka level colleges, Joida and other colleges, to shut down those colleges because of the student strength. Student strength decreased because of two issues. One is flood for the city level government colleges without restriction. Thereby their own government colleges in Hubli level are in a very pathetic condition. And the side effect is for private colleges. And another setback is about the 3 equal converted into 2 equal. So 1/3 of the student strength in the third subject is decreased. So this is another issue. So this is to be addressed. How to retain the workload? Of course, if you enter to the third year, there will be a flood for workload, because every subject will be considered as major and minor. So all the 25 credits, means 25 hours per subject, will be remaining with the subject only. But till the third year, swinging on. People are really frustrated about the workload this year. Because of that, somehow we should manage, somehow we should cope up. So next year there will be a flood of the workload, though the number is less. Because if it is history major is there for 20 credits and minor 6 credits. So 20 plus 6, 26 hours workload will be there in every given subject. So this is what I wanted to share. I'm sorry, ICT and this IQAC, this was the title, but I am not expert to speak more about ICT. And I have some knowledge about the IQAC and role of IQAC in building the institution. Don't think only about the NAC. You really think how quality is going to be assured by the college to attract the students in the institution. So I take this opportunity to thank especially Makandar sir, my friend Madam, and Prakash Rao, my Nittur. Venkanagoda Patil, I am a little afraid to speak before Venkanagoda. He is a good, is a proud product of this institution. Really, I impressed like anything. When I visited in some other odd occasions, but I impressed the way in which he is having a skill to present. He is not trained, but he developed on his own. So many journalists actually graduated. But why not all the journalists having that skill? Why the chemistry people not having this skill? Only few chemistry people are very good orator in the subject. See now, Venkanagoda Patil, really I am proud. Proud product of this, and he is having that knowledge. I expect such kind of journalists should be there in the society to focus what actually needed the society to the government or the public through media. So thank you very much for giving me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your insight.
To address in Kannada, I always love Kannada because chairman is not understanding Kannada. He is from Marathi based and English. Therefore, I am sorry. First time I failed to speak in Kannada. Thank you so much.
Conclude within 5 minutes. Yes. Today, I would like to congratulate all of you and the principal also for having such a wonderful conference and such a wonderful subject because I loved, I mean a teacher professor and teacher trainer, so I loved the innovation in teaching, learning and evaluation. Because many of us, we talk about NEP and NEP rules and NEP new things, but we did not talk about the teaching and learning, in innovation teaching and learning. We have done it in the COVID situations. All teachers have done it in a COVID situation. We have innovatively innovatively grow our teaching, innovatively grow our learning. We are born learners because we learn how to deal with that situation, and that situation we learn the Google and such also. Sir also told that many of the teachers didn't know the ICT, didn't know the new tools of ICT. But they learns in that pandemic, and they teach their students confidently and in a better way, and that is why I am talking about the ICT. Sir told us that the role of IKC is not for the NAC only. The role of IKC is more important for the teacher and students. As I think the IQC must have a 1 or 2 training program for the teachers only. Because the professional development of teacher is depend on the IKC. IKC must train them. I did not say that none of the teachers is trained, but we have to train them according to our need and according to global situation, according to our cultural aspects also. Because the scenario is changing very drastically, very fast. And the teachers must have need the inspiration. Teachers must have need the new things. They learn new things. They think differently, and that is only possible with the IQAC. And IQAC have to do new innovative practices, which is also helpful to your NAC. That innovative practices, I suggest that when you have one innovative practice that you have to teach, you have to have a thing that you convey the opportunity to your teachers to learn something new, to do for the society, to do for the community, and not just do, sir, as the sir say, and not just doing the MOU. You just do for your students, because the students are the most important part in our life, in our education system. We are changing everything. To whom? We are changing everything for the student, for the future of the students, because we learn in the bar education, in the BA, BCom, BSc, and now the new policy is cutting the bars. They feel the students free. Learn BA also, BCom also, BSc also. You have to choose that subject also, whichever you take in the interest. Whatever you want, you learn in there only. And these things are there. And sir also told that the PhD regulations, new PhD regulations are there. The PhD regulations have to be for the researcher. Teachers, PhD regulations must for the society. PhD regulation must for the quality, not just for the quantity. Many of the institutions have the quantity only, didn't have the quality. So, as an IQAC and IQAC member and IQAC cell, they have to think on it. And regarding also one of my favorite, just 2 minutes I will conclude. New things in the NEP which I like most. They restricted the bag, the uniform and the exam for first 5 years. That is loving thing, because we reduce the burden from the students. Because while I am learning, I go to school on the 6th, age of the 6th. But now our children are going to school while they are third in 3 years, 2 years. And that's take much more burden on their brain also. So we have to think on that things also. And in the teaching also, as sir say, to do new thing have many hurdles. To do new things, how many opponents or many problems we have to face. I am just giving one example that I am doing a PhD in Maharashtra. I submitted my thesis for last month. And I think what I see in the teaching, the teacher, innovator and teachers did not have awareness much more psychological things, because psychology impact on teachers teaching also. If teacher did not have the psychologically fit, he did not teach the students, did not able the students for emotionally. So we have to think that such a new things like a NAP is a challenge. As a challenge, we have to take it as a challenge, and positively we have to go through it and confront it, that we have to fight for new challenges, we have to be ready for new challenges, and we have to be ready for our new education policy also. Thank you. Thanks once again, and thanks Dr. Dharwad also. Thank you, sir.
I call upon Dr. N.V. Gudognar sir to kindly present a memento to Dr. Dharwad sir. Sir. Thank you, sir. At the time, our journal, publication of journal, ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ क्योंकि हमारे महाराष्ट्र के फ्रेंड टी प्रमोद प्रकाश राव सर, I request our beloved principal to kindly felicitate Dr. Pramod Prakash Rao sir.
Thank you, sir. One second, sir.
45% of the rural areas and geographical and digital divide, resulting in an exclusive number of rural students. Social quotient and physical quotient and spiritual quotients also. And here blended learning includes face-to-face learning, teaching, students interaction with course content and field group interaction, group discussion and exchange of ideas, and virtual classroom, online assessment, webinars and online learning through videos and audios. And main characters of blended learning here, students get face-to-face interaction as well as they interact in virtual space also. Students get full experience in using new technology, and it makes teaching learning process student-centered, and it provides a multicultural and multi-dimensional approach to the teaching learning, and it has a human touch also. The blended learning, there is a diverse soul of in online course also. And advantages of online learning without losing social interaction elements and human touch of traditional teaching also. It provides more scope for communication for both the teacher as well as students also. And there are limitations of blended learning here. It leads of blended learning. Thank you.
I'll be working as graduate primary teacher in Government Urdu Model School, Kittur. The topic of my presentation is pedagogical innovations adapted in NEP with primary focus on the foundational stage. Because I am a teacher working in school, my paper will particularly focus on the early childhood care education. No doubt since morning everybody is been speaking about NEP, its adaptations, its advantages. Change is part of life, and these changes in the pedagogy makes the learners as well as teachers to come with the overall development in learning through play, conversation, stories, toys, music, art and craft, and second, pupils. The present paper will focus on the innovative adaptations in pedagogy with special reference to play conversation. So what is this play conversation? While I was a student, when I was a child, a lot of rote learning used to take pedagogy change, which is with a fun learning, which is in government schools we have as Kali Nali. Kali is nothing but learn and Nali is with fun. Everything has to be learned with fun. Otherwise the rote learning will not last with you for a long time. So what happens with, how is this impact of Kali Nali in this foundational stage? It helps the child to be active, engage and interact even with the peers. They also have a fun learning and they try to meet the learning that occurs in their class environment. What happens when the child engages himself in this play learning? All of us might have learned tables, that is also rote learning again. But when it comes to this foundational stage of learning, we see that the children are able to do their addition, subtraction with the help of the marbles, that is placing the stones. They also learn rhymes with actions and they are able to build blocks. They are able to solve the puzzles all by themselves with the help of their peers and also with the help of the teacher. So what happens in this fun learning is they are able to enjoy themselves and this learning lasts with them forever. And there is another pedagogical change in NEP when it comes to the degree level, but the same can be implemented at the foundational level also. That is learning through music, craft, play and movement. A child is able to develop their self-expression, imagination, creativity when he is able to learn through arts, communication, reasoning. Such qualities will help him to bring out their creativity and no doubt in future he may become a poet or a writer. We can ask wherever there is an opportunity for a play or a skit, we can ask the children to come forward. That helps them to develop their creativity, their conversation. And one of my friend was talking about the vocabulary, and yes, their vocabulary also can be built when there is some dialogue conversations in the skit or play. Now there is another change in the pedagogy in the foundational stage here is that making them help learn the stories or the poems with the help of the toys. There are many government school teachers who are coming up with the stories, who themselves are preparing their puppets and they are able to make puppet shows in order to narrate the same stories which we just learnt it with the rote learning where our teacher helped. But this can be implemented with a different innovation pedagogy, that is with the help of the puppets, where the child is easily able to understand what it is. Then talking about the second foremost thing, that is the positive relationship that we need to develop between student and teacher. No doubt the child spends 7 to 8 hours in the school and we teachers need to be patient, calm and compassionate. Particularly talking about the foundational stage students, children here. These children sometimes cry, they sometimes laugh and they need to get back home. During those times particularly me being a teacher, I need to comfort my child so that I can get closer to my child and so that next day he can come back to the school with a delightful learning and with the affection that yes, my teacher loves me. And the child's first experience at school, spending more hours in the school, that will help the child to love, affectionate and empathy. With this I would like to conclude my paper that the pedagogical changes have been implemented through NEP. It is all just because they want all the child who wants to face the future with not only the bookish knowledge but with the skills that they have, and it is a child-centric with this positive deviations in the curriculum comprising pedagogy. I would like to be grateful to Anjuman College because it is after 2014 my postgraduate studies I am able to present a paper face to face. Thank you everybody for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Everyone, I am Nida Bahar from KSS PG Center of Education, Vidyanagar, Hubli. I am a student of that college and I am pursuing my Masters in Education. I have done my Masters in Computer Science and completed my B.Ed as well. So coming to my topic, it's about blended teaching learning, a way forward in higher education. So why I selected this topic? Because of this COVID-19, this pandemic has brought many abrupt and profound changes in the education sector around the world. And there is a need to boost learners' efficiency, build engagement, and keep track of learners' progress enhancing teaching effects and all these things. Because of this, I have selected the topic blended teaching learning, a way forward in higher education. Coming to the background of blended teaching learning, blended teaching learning is an instructional methodology, a teaching and learning approach that combines face-to-face classroom methods with computer-mediated activities to deliver instructions. And blended teaching learning is the term given to the educational practice of combining digital learning tools with more traditional classroom face-to-face teaching. Resources such as videos, lectures, podcast recordings, and articles would be provided in order to transfer the main bulk of the necessary knowledge from the teacher to the student before each class. And I have reviewed some of the papers by renowned authors. In the year 2016, impact of online education in higher education system, and all these papers are related to blended teaching learning. And coming to the blended teaching learning in Indian context, we have learning management systems, as in the morning sir said, panel discussion in the schools, how we are using that, and digital lessons for specially able children, MOOC, massive open online courses for higher education, and teachers' professional development and assessment. Coming to the learning management systems, it is an online integrated software used for creating, delivering, tracking and reporting educational courses and outcomes. So this can be used to support traditional face-to-face instruction as well as blended or hybrid and distance learning environments.
Respected delegates, organizers, and friends. Overall, the presentation and I wholeheartedly congratulate all the presenters for their nice presentation. There are 4 teacher presenters, 3 students who presented quite nicely, and 2 research scholars who in fact are deliberated on vocabulary digital mode. Some of the topics that have been covered here are NEP and commerce education, impact of digital learning, teaching in blended mode, next is on vocabulary, then is a pedagogy, digital learning, and more importantly the students of this college presented fearlessly. In fact, I congratulate them specially, and students especially, they have taken up digital learning and any field of their education, and all, in fact, the presentation was very nice. They presented beautifully, they covered the topics that are good to, and I thank and congratulate the organizers of this today's conference. They have made our day memorable. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Indian College, Arts and Commerce College, the organizer today, National Conference on NEP 2020, innovative and teaching learning and evaluation process and the role of accuracy. So today, College Authority is conducted very beautifully the conference, the different topics, very innovatively conducted the morning session. That's a technical panel discussion program. Later, the technical session. The last one is the paper presentation technique session. In that part, many of the students have presented the papers on behalf of all congratulating all the paper presenters. Once again, I am thankful to the College Authority Principal and College Authority for providing me the chance to work as chairperson of this technical session. Thank you.
ಸಂಕೀರ್ಣದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷತೆಯನ್ನು ವಹಿಸಿದ PC ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಪ್ರಾಚಾರ್ಯರಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ CM ಮಠ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಚಾರ್ಯರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ವಿಚಾರ ಸಂಕಿರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ಆಗಮಿಸಿದಂತಹ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸೊಬಗನ್ನು ನೀಡಿದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ಶರೀಫ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಹಾನಗಲ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೂ ತುಂಬ ಹೃದಯದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ. ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಹಕರ್ಮಿ ವಿಚಾರ ಸಂಕಿರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿ ಶಾಂತವಾಗಿ ಆಲಿಸಿದಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕರಿಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಹಲವಾರು ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸಿ ತಮ್ಮ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲರ ಗಮನ ಸೆಳೆಯುವಂತೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಬುದ್ಧ ಓದುಗರಿಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಪರವಾಗಿ, ಪ್ರಾಚಾರ್ಯರ ಪರವಾಗಿ, ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸಿನ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟರ್ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಅಜ್ಞಾನದಿಂದ ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಕಡೆಗೆ, ಮೃತ್ಯುವಿನಿಂದ ಅಮರತ್ವದ ಕಡೆಗೆ, ಮೌಢ್ಯತೆಯಿಂದ ಮೌಲ್ಯದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಕೊಂಡೊಯ್ಯುವುದೇ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ. ಇಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಹಾವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಯೋಜಿಸಿದ್ದ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಸಮ್ಮೇಳನದ ಸಮಾರೋಪ ಸಮಾರಂಭ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸರ್ವರಿಗೂ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಕೋರುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಪವಿತ್ರ ಕುರಾನ್ ಪಠಣದ ಮೂಲಕ ಇಂದಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸೋಣ. ಕುರಾನ್ ಪಠಣ ನೆರವೇರಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲು ಉರ್ದು ವಿಭಾಗದ ಮುಖ್ಯಸ್ಥರಾದಂತಹ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಕರೀಂ ಅಶ್ರಫ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ವಿನಂತಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والله الذي لا إله إلا هو العزيز الرحمن الرحيم هو الله الذي لا إله إلا الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر سبحان الله عما يشركون هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم آمنت بالله صدق الله العظيم
ಜೀವಕೋಟಿ ಸಾಗಿದೆ ಕಾವನೆಂಬಾರಿವಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಚರಣ ಕೆರಗಿದೆ, ನಿನ್ನ ಚರಣ ಕೆರಗಿದೆ. ಸತ್ಯ ಶಾಂತಿ ನಿತ್ಯ ಕಾಂತಿ ಧರ್ಮ ಸಿಂಧು ನೀನು, ಕಷ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಮಧೇನು ಕರ್ಮ ಬಂಧು ನೀನು, ಕರ್ಮ ಬಂಧು ನೀನು. ದೇವರಿಂದ ಇರುವರಂಬಿ ಜೀವಕೋಟಿ ಸಾಗಿದೆ ಕಾವನೆಂಬಾರಿವಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಚರಣ ಕೆರಗಿದೆ, ನಿನ್ನ ಚರಣ ಕೆರಗಿದೆ.
Esteemed Chief Guest, Honorable Guest of Honor, respected Principal, Convener, ICAC Coordinator, revered Education Board Member, generous sponsors, learned delegates, resource person, research scholars, media person, senior colleagues, special invitees, and my dear students and students from different reputed institutes. There is little in life so reassuring as a genuine welcome. I deem it my pleasure and honor to welcome President of today's valedictory function, Janab Ashfaq Ahmad Bedgeri sir, whose service to community is unmatched and unending. His passion, his devotion, dedication and determination towards profession and society is par excellence. I sincerely welcome you, sir. I feel honored and elated to welcome our chief guest, Professor Krishnamurthy B.R., Joint Director, Collegiate Educational Regional Office, Dharwad, a man of academic excellence, towering personality, an intellectual of high stature. Graciously welcome you, sir. I extend my warm welcome to guest of honor, Janab Mohammad Shakil Tamatgar, whose moral support, constant and relentless effort means a lot to us. I welcome you, sir. I especially welcome our generous sponsor, Janab Ashfaq Ahmed Bedgeri, sir, AS Bedgeri Construction Company, Dharwad, Janab Samir B. Page, Proprietor United Construction, Dharwad, revered Education Board member, Dr. Sargiro, sir, and Janab S.M. Reshamwale, Chief Life Insurance Advisor. I am grateful to you all, sir. I cordially welcome our principal, Dr. N.M. Makandar, who always visualizes our college activities should be vibrant, creative and progressive. I welcome you, sir. In that same way, it's my pleasure to welcome Dr. N.B. Gudagnavar, sir, convener, and Dr. N.B. Nalakwad, ICAC coordinator to this valedictory sanction. Welcome, sir. Now I'm overwhelmed to welcome learned delegates, resource persons, research scholars, media persons, senior colleagues, special invitees, and students from reputed institute, administrative and ministerial staff. Once again, a big welcome to each one of you. Welcome.
So before felicitation, I am recollecting a small Urdu couplet. दिल से खैर मकदम मिलेगी तुम्हें आज, दिल से खैर मकदम मिलेगी तुम्हें आज, खुशियों की जन्नत मिलेगी तुम्हें आज। पेश करते हैं गुलों के खुशियों के गुल बेशुमार, हर तरफ छाई हुई है खुशियों की ये बहार। With this Urdu couplet, first I call upon I request our Vice President Ali Janab Ashfaq Bedgeri sir kindly honor our today's chief guest, Dr. Krishnamurthy sir. आगे बस्ती रहे, बहुत बड़ा ऑनर है। खिलाड़ी चप्पल एक को मुँह लगा।
Firstly, I would like to congratulate Anjuman College and all the organizers who have made this event successful. And when the conference started, it was started with a panel session, which was also the thought-provoking, which gave answers to all of our questioning mind. And next was a technical session, which also gave us about the ICT information and also developing how the students will inculcate this NEP 2020. So I thank everyone for giving me an opportunity. It was an excellent conference with this topic, and I am looking forward for this further. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity.
Good evening, everyone. Most honored chief guest, the guest of honor, honorable president of the occasion, honorable principal sir, the organizing secretary, the convener, the IQAC coordinator, so also Samir Baghi sir, Reshmwale sir, and Sir Giroji sir. Respectable and most honored joint secretary sir, joint director sir of regional joint director's office Dharwad. Today it's really an honor that we all have been discussing NEP for the past 1.5 years. This particular platform has made so many things clear to us. As Shilpa has put it just now, we had innumerable questions. We had so many doubts. It was not just a jumble for either the parents or the students, but to be very frank, this NEP is itself something obscure for we teachers. We were not in a position, in fact, to explain either to the students or to the parents when we were asked for. I take this opportunity to extend heartfelt congratulations and thanks to this esteemed institution for having arranged such an insightful and an educative conference, which was the need of the hour. Thank you very much. And as the saying of Abdul Kalam is in front of us these days, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Of course, there are pros and cons about NEP. This morning we had the senior most principal, Siddhanti sir, who was saying NEP could also be no education policy. It was very, very hurting, in fact. We all were, I think, it is me, I was stunned. He came up with an interpretation which should not be giving an undue interpretation in the minds of the young students who are benefiting. I would never say we are victims. We are going to benefit from this new structure of education in the years to come. If not today, if not at the outset, but in the years to come, we would definitely benefit. Again, I would congratulate the whole team of Dr. Makandar sir. Teamwork makes a dream work. This has been proved by your institution, sir. Thank you for giving me such an opportunity.
Good evening to everyone. Honorable dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. It gives me immense pleasure to present here about the National Conference and it given me opportunity to many professors, students to share about the knowledge of the NEP and the problems faced by us. And it really I am thankful for the Anjuman management. Thank you so much for giving me to speak here to us. Thank you.
Immense pleasure to place before you some of the events. Throughout the day, we are witnessing so many activities. In total, I will just present you the brief report. The conference and the other dignitaries. Management side.
ಬಾಕ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್. ನಾವು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು. ಅದು ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ 1 by 1 ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಸರ್ಕಾರದವ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಯವರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದೇ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡುವ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ನ್ಯೂನ್ಯತೆಗಳು ನಾವು ಅದು ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಬೆಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ NEPಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನ ತರ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಸಲಹೆ ಸೂಚನೆಗಳು ಬಂದವು. ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಲಹೆ ಸೂಚನೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸೇರಿ ರೆಕಮೆಂಡ್ ತೊಗೊತೀವಿ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಲಾಖೆಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಗಮನಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ತಿಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಎರಡೇ ಮಾತು ಯಾಕೆಂತಂದರೆ ಕೊನೆ ಘಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋದಿದೆ, ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಮಾತಾಡೋವಂಥದ್ದು. ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ 5 ಗಂಟೆ ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಾಲ್ಗೆ. 5 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಶಿ ಬಿದ್ದಿದೆ. ರಾಶಿ ನಿಮ್ಮವೇ ಫೈಲ್ಗಳು, ನಿಮ್ಮವೇ ಸಂಬಳದ ಬಿಲ್ಗಳು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿರ್ಬೇಕು ನಾನು 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ಅಥವಾ 4 ರಿಂದ 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ವೇದಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿರಿಯರೇ, ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಒಬ್ಬರು ಉರ್ದು ಪೊಯೆಟ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ನೇಹ ಆಯಿತು. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಕನ್ನಡನೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದರೆ ನನ್ನ ಪದ್ಯಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಅನುವಾದ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾಯಿತು ಉರ್ದುಗೆ. ಹಂಗೆ ಇರೋ ನನ್ನ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರೋ ಪದ್ಯಗಳು ನನ್ನವೂ. ಯಾಕೆಂತಂದರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿ ಅವಾರ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಆ ಅವಾರ್ಡ್ಗಿಂತಲೂ ನಮ್ಮದು ದೇಸಿ ನೆಲೆಯ ಅಂದರೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂಗೆ ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದೇನು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಬಗೆಯ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್, ವಾಟ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ, ಭಾಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದಂಥ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ. ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಕಲೋನಿಯಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ವಿ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಕಲೋನಿಯಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್. ಆ ಕಲೋನಿಯಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಗುಲಾಮಗಿರಿಯನ್ನು ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಲೇವರಿ. ಓಕೆ, slave lawyers, slave doctors, slave teachers, slave clerk, ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್. ಅದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಏನನ್ನು ತಿಂತೀವಿ, ನಾವು ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದು ಪೌಷ್ಟಿಕವಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಪೌಷ್ಟಿಕ ಆಹಾರ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಬರೀ ಜೊಳ್ಳು ಆಗಿರಬಾರ್ದು. ಆದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆನಲ್ಲಿ, ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಂಥ ದೇಶದೊಳಗಡೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರು ಭಾಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಒಳಗಡೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಕಲ್ಕೇಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಗೃಹ ಕೈಗಾರಿಕೆಗಳು ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಕಲ್ಕೇಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಿಕ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಇಂಡಿಯಾದ ಒಳಗಡೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಿಕ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅದು ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರದಿಂದ ಕನ್ಯಾಕುಮಾರಿಯವರೆಗೆ ಅದ್ವಿತೀಯವಾದ ಅದೇ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ, ಅದೇ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ, ಅದೇ PhD ಮಸ್ಲಿನ್ ಬಟ್ಟೆಯನ್ನು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಂಥ ದೇಶ ಇದು. ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬೆಂಗಾಲ್ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ ಮಟ್ಟದ ಮಸ್ಲಿನ್ ಬಟ್ಟೆಯನ್ನು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಂಥ ದೇಶ. ಅದು ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಆದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳು ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯಗಳಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಗೃಹ ಕೈಗಾರಿಕೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ. ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಹಳ್ಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾತೀಯತೆ ಇತ್ತು, ಸಣ್ಣತನ ಇತ್ತು, ಬಡವರು ಶ್ರೀಮಂತರು ಇದ್ರು, ಅಸ್ಪೃಶ್ಯತೆ ಇತ್ತು. ದೇರ್ ವರ್ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ದೇರ್. ಆದರೆ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಅಕ್ಷರಗಳನ್ನೇ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ತಿಳಿತಾರೆ. ನನಗೆ ಅಕ್ಷರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ನಾನು ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಅವ್ವನಿಗೆ ಅಕ್ಷರ ಬರ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ನನ್ನ ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಅಕ್ಷರ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದ್ಭುತವಾಗಿ ಕಾಳು ಉಳಿಯದ ಹಾಗೆ, ಕಾಳು, ಬೇಳೆ, ಉಪ್ಪಿನಕಾಯಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಹಪ್ಪಳ ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಉಳಿದು ತೊಪರೆದ್ದು ಹೋಗದ ಹಾಗೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಉಳಿದು ಹೋಗದ ಹಾಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಅವ್ವನಿಗೆ. ಇದು ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಸೈನ್ಸ್? ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಕಾಯೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಕಾಯೋದು, ಕುರಿ ಕಾಯೋದು, ಕತೆ ಕಾಯೋದು, ಕತೆ ಕಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಉಡಾಫೆ. ಅವು ನಿಜವಾದ ಉದ್ಯೋಗಗಳು, ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ಉದ್ಯೋಗಗಳು. ಅವುಗಳಿಗೆ ಡಿಗ್ನಿಟಿ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಡಿಗ್ನಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಲೇಬರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಒಂದು ಕಾಳನ್ನು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್. ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ರಾಗಿ ಕಾಳನ್ನು ಈ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಎ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಗ್ರೈನ್. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಬರಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ವಾಸಿ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಬರಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಾಯಿಲೆಗೆ ಸಲಹೆ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ ಅವರು. ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಸೋರುತ್ತೆ ಮೂಲೆ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಆ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಅವರು ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ಸು. ಅರೆ ಏನು ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರಿ? ಯಾವ ಬಗೆಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣವನ್ನು ನೀವು ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತಿದ್ರಿ? ಯಾರು ಮುಖ್ಯ? ಚಿಂದಿ ಆಯುವ ಜನರಿಂದ ಈ ಲೋಕ ಕಟ್ಟಲ್ಪಡುತ್ತೆ. ಉಡಾಫೆ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಚರ್ಮ ಹದ ಮಾಡುವ ಜನ ಕೂಡ ಈ ದೇಶದೊಳಗಡೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ, ಕೃಷಿಯನ್ನ, ಅಟ್ಲು, ಸಗಣಿ, ಮಣ್ಣು, ಮಸಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಣ ಅಂತವ್ರು ಮನುಷ್ಯರು, ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಒಂದು ಘನತೆ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪ್ರತಿಪಾದಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕಲೋನಿಯಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್, ಏನು ಸೂಟು ಬೂಟು ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರೋರು ದೊಡ್ಡವರು, ಏನು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡದಲೇ ಇರುವವರು ದೊಡ್ಡವರು. ಹೆಂಗಾಗೋಗಿದೆ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ? 2,58,000 ಜನ ರೈತರು 15 ವರ್ಷದ ಅವಧಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಆತ್ಮಹತ್ಯೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡವೆ. ದುಡಿಯುವವರು, ಅನ್ನವನ್ನ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡುವವರು ಆತ್ಮಹತ್ಯೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಂದ್ರ ಅರ್ಥ? ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಕೃಷಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾರು ಕೃಷಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ನನ್ನ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಕೃಷಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ಕೃಷಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೃಷಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಆ ಕೃಷಿಗೆ ಘನತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಲಾಭ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರಲಿ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ವೃತ್ತಿಗೆ ಘನತೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಘನತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಪರಿಗಣಿಸಬೇಕು. ಡಿಗ್ನಿಟಿ, ಪ್ರೀತಿ, ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ, ಗೌರವ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಒಂದು ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ, ಒಂದು ವೃತ್ತಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಇದು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ನಾವು? ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾವೆಂಜರು ಕಕ್ಕಸ್ ತೊಳೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಕೀಳಕ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಿದೀವಲ್ರಿ? ನಂಬರ್ 1 ಅವರೇ, ನಂಬರ್ 1 ಅವ್ರನ್ನ 4 ಅಂತೀವಿ. 4 ಅಲ್ಲ 5 ಅವರು. ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾವೆಂಜರ್ 4 ಅಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ಯೂನು ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವನು 4. ನನಗೊಂದು ಐತೆ ಒಂದು ಗ್ರೇಡು 4 ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ 4 ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಾರೆ, ಡಿ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾವೆಂಜರ್ ಏನಂತಾರೆ? ಇದಾ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ 1, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ 2, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ 3, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ 4 ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ? ಇದು ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬರಬೇಕಾದಂಥ ಸ್ಥಿತಿನ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದು ಇರಬೇಕಾ? ಇದು ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣ, ಕ್ಷತ್ರಿಯ, ವೈಶ್ಯ, ಶೂದ್ರ, ದಲಿತ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾ? ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇದೇ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆನಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಏನಿದು ತಾರತಮ್ಯ? ಕೆಲವರಾರು ಟೀಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಮೇಡಮ್. ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್. ಹೆಂಗಾರ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ. ಈ ನಿಂತ ನೀರು ಹರಿಯಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರುವಾಗಿಬಿಡ್ಲಿ, ಅತ್ಲಗಾರ ಹರಿಲಿ. ನಿಂತ ನೀರು ಹರಿಬೇಕು, ಜಲ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಹೊಸ ಜಲ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಹೊಸ ಪೀಳಿಗೆ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಡೆಮಾಕ್ರಸಿ ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಾಧನೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಡೆಮಾಕ್ರಸಿ ಬರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 2,500 ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ 2,600 ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಹೋರಾಟ ನಡೆದಿದೆ. ಈ ಡೆಮಾಕ್ರಸಿ ನಮಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ಕೈಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಹೋರಾಟ ನಡೆದಿದೆ. ಪ್ರಾಫೆಟ್ಗಳು ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕ್ರಿಸ್ತ ಶಿಲುಬೆಗೆ ಏರಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ಪೈಗಂಬರ್ ಮೆಕ್ಕಾ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮದೀನಕ್ಕೆ ಓಡಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ, ಬುದ್ಧ ಅನೇಕ ತೊಂದರೆಗಳನ್ನು ಅನುಭವಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬಸವಣ್ಣ ಕೊಲೆ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರ ಫಲವನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಇವತ್ತು. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರ ಫಲ ಯುರೋಪಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಲಕ್ಷಾಂತರ ಜನ ಕೊಲೆ ಆದರು. ರಾಜಪ್ರಭುತ್ವದ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಲಕ್ಷಾಂತರ ಜನ ಕೊಲೆ ಆದರು. ಹಿಟ್ಲರ್ನ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಜರ್ಮನಿಯ 10 ಲಕ್ಷ ಜನ ಯಹೂದಿಗಳು ಕೊಲೆ ಆದರು. ಅದರೆಲ್ಲದರ ಫಲ ಇವತ್ತು ಡೆಮಾಕ್ರಸಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಉಣ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಕಾಲ. ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ಈಗ ಓದಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿವೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಗಿದೋಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ. ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ಈಚೆ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಓದೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದಲಿತ ಸಮುದಾಯಗಳು, ಆದಿವಾಸಿ ಸಮುದಾಯಗಳು, ಕೆಳವರ್ಗಗಳು, ಹಿಂದುಳಿದ ವರ್ಗಗಳು ಈಗ ಕಂಡುಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾದ ಪೂರಕವಾದ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಜಾರಿಗೆ ತರಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಮೇಷ್ಟ್ರುಗಳು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಕೆಳವರ್ಗಗಳು, ದಲಿತರು ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಬಗ್ಸಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರು ಅವ್ರವ್ರ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲು, ನಿಮ್ದು ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ, ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ತೀರೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಾಲೇಜನ್ನು ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಟ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಸಂತೋಷ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. 4 ಗೋಡೆ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಫುಲ್ಲವಾಗಿ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಅರಳ ಹಾಗೆ ಜಾತ್ಯತೀತವಾಗಿ, ಧರ್ಮಾತೀತವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸುಗಳನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು. ಆರೋಗ್ಯಕರವಾದ ಮನಸ್ಸುಗಳನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು. ವಿಷವನ್ನು ಬಿತ್ತನೆ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಅಮೃತ ಸಿಂಚನವಾಗಬೇಕು. ಅಮೃತವನ್ನು ಬಿತ್ತನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಪ್ರೀತಿ, ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ, ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಧರ್ಮಗಳ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರುವ ಒಳಿತನ್ನ ಎತ್ತಿ ಹಿಡಿಬೇಕು. ಆಗ ಡೆಮಾಕ್ರಸಿ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಡೆಮಾಕ್ರಸಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಡೆಮಾಕ್ರಸಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್. ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಈಗ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಫುಲ್ ಡೆಮಾಕ್ರಸಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಎವಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಡೆಮಾಕ್ರಸಿ. ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಹೊಂದುತ್ತಿರುವ, ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂಥ ಡೆಮಾಕ್ರಸಿ ನಮ್ಮದು. ಅಂತರಗಳು ಎಷ್ಟಿದ್ದಾವೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತರಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಬಡವರು ಬಡವರಾಗ್ತಲೇ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಶ್ರೀಮಂತರಾಗ್ತಲೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ನೀವು ಧರ್ಮದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಡೆಮಾಕ್ರಸಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ನೀವು? ನಾಚಿಕೆ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ನಮಗೆ. ಆ ಥರ ಮಾತಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಲ್ಬಾರ್ದು. ನಾವು ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಮೇಲೂ ಕೀಳು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಜುವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಈಗ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಗಮನಿಸಬೇಕು. ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮತ್ತು ಗಂಡಿನ ನಡುವೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತರಗಳಿದ್ವು. ಅವ್ರು ಈಚೆಗಡಿಕೆ ಬರಂಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಧರ್ಮಗಳ ಒಳಗಡೆನಲ್ಲೂ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಧರ್ಮ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವ ಧರ್ಮಗಳ ಒಳಗಡೆನಲ್ಲೂ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು ತುಳಿದಿರದೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅನುಮಾನ ಏನು ಪಡಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಿಂದುಳಿದ ಅಥವಾ ದಲಿತ ಸಮುದಾಯಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ತುಳಿದಿರದೆ. ಬಹುಸಂಖ್ಯಾತರು ಅವರು. ಮೇಲ್ಜಾತಿಗಳು ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಮೇಲ್ಜಾತಿಗಳು 10% ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇರೋರೆಲ್ಲ ದುಡಿಯರೆ, ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಕಾರ್ಖಾನೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ತೋಟ ಹೊಲ ಗದ್ದೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ದುಡಿತಾ ಇರುವಂಥವ್ರು. ಅದನ್ನು ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಮೂಲಕ. ಎಲ್ಲ ವೃತ್ತಿಗಳು ಒಂದೇ. ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಫಸ್ಟು ಬರಬೇಕು. ಯಾವ ಕೆಲಸ ಬೇಕಾದರೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ 25-30 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ತೆಗೆದು ಅಸ್ತ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಈಚೆ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಕೆಲಸದಿಂದ ತೆಗೆದಾಕಿದ್ರೆ 25 ಉದ್ಯೋಗಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು. 25 ಉದ್ಯೋಗಗಳು ಕೂಲಿಯಿಂದ ಸೇರಿ. ಸ್ವಾಭಿಮಾನದಿಂದ ಬದುಕಿರಾಯ್ತು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೋಟಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಸ್ವಾಭಿಮಾನ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸರಿ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೋಟಿ ಇದ್ರೇನು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಂಬಳ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೇನು? ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ಗಳು UGC ಸಂಬಳ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗಳು ಮಣ್ಣು ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ, ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗಳು. ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಸಂಬಳ ನಮಗೆ, ಬಡವ್ರ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್. ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ರಿ ನಮ್ಮ 101 ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಇದೆ 7 ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ. ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಭಾಳ ಅಷ್ಟೇನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಉತ್ತಮವಾದ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ, ಬದಲಾಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಇಷ್ಟಿದೆ, ಇಷ್ಟು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದೆ ಸಾಕು. ನಾವು ಸಮಾಜದ ಋಣವನ್ನು ತೀರಿಸಬೇಕು. ನನಗೆ ಸಂಬಳ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ನಾನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಒದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮನೆಗಳಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಹಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ದುಡ್ಡು, ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಂಪತ್ತು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಲು ನಾವೇನು ದುಡ್ದಿರಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಮುದಾಯದಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸಮುದಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ವಿಸನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಕಡೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ನಿದ್ದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಸುಖವಾಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿರೋದು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನಾನೇ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ನಗಬೇಕು, ಹಾಡು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು, ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಪದ್ಯ ಬರೀಬೇಕು, ಓದಬೇಕು, ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಂತೋಷಗಳಿದಾವೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಸಾಧ್ಯ? ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗ. ದುಃಖದಿಂದ ಅಥವಾ ಹಸುವಿನಿಂದ ನರಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋರ ಮುಂದೆ ನಾನು ಮೆರೆಯೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರು ಮೆರೆದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಮನುಷ್ಯರಲ್ಲ, ಅವರು ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಲ್ಲ, ಅವರು ರಾಜಕಾರಣಿಗಳಲ್ಲ. ರಾಜಕಾರಣ ನಮ್ಮ ಧರ್ಮ, ಹೊಸ ಧರ್ಮ ಅದು. ಯಾವ ಧರ್ಮವೂ ಸಮ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವ ಧರ್ಮಗಳು ಸಮಾನತೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವ ಧರ್ಮಗಳು, ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಧರ್ಮಗಳು ಹೋಗಿ, ಧರ್ಮರಾಜ್ಯಗಳು ಹೋಗಿ, ಈಗ ಪ್ರಜಾರಾಜ್ಯ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಡೆಮಾಕ್ರಸಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಆಗ ನಾನು ನೀನು ಒಂದೇ. ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ನ ಲಿಂಗ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಡೆಮಾಕ್ರಸಿಯ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾನು ನೀನು ಒಂದೇ. ಧರ್ಮದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಜಾತಿ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಲಿಂಗದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಆ ಧರ್ಮದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಇರಬೇಕು ಧರ್ಮಗಳು, ಧ್ಯಾನದ ಕೇಂದ್ರಗಳು, ಸಮಾಧಾನದ ಕೇಂದ್ರಗಳು, ಮೆಡಿಟೇಷನ್, ಡಿವೋಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕು, ಸಮ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿರಬೇಕು. ಅವೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕಿಂತಲೂ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಧರ್ಮ ಡೆಮಾಕ್ರಸಿ. ಡೆಮಾಕ್ರಸಿ ಇಸ್ ಅವರ್ ರಿಲಿಜನ್. ಅದು ಸ್ಥಾಪನೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಎಜುಕೇಷನು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಅಥವಾ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್